to work the switcher. I really won't need to do it.
All right, we're up.
Rock and roll.
One thing I wanted to point out,
Mm-hmm.
we're muted right now,
Okay,
but when you click that, we'll be live.
so that's how we mute it.
Yeah, so when you're taking a break,
That's the button.
yeah.
Okay.
All right, everybody, we're finally set up again. Day 4, men's, women's, mass start.
Mass start.
Mass start.
We're doing the mass start?
One of the most exciting races in the business.
Holy cow. Are we going to pick a team?
We're going to pick a team, top 2, in a way, with a little wrinkle. If you win one,
Yeah.
you're automatically on the team. If someone else wins the other one, you're automatically on the team.
Okay.
So there's a priority for winning. If the same winner,
But I was going to say, what if I win both?
if you win both, then we're going to go to a point system. So whoever has the highest total points would be the second selection on the team.
So that would mean that during the race, you can accumulate points.
Right,
Oh.
right. They'll
So-
have they'll have sprint preems
Oh.
where they can get points at laps 12, 8, and 4. So you may hear a bell ring at laps 13, 9, and 5. That means it's one lap to go to get those points.
Mm-hmm.
And those will accumulate throughout the race to determine the overall ranking. And then we go apply the ranking to a
Mm-hmm.
point system.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So there is another layer there.
Yeah.
We're probably not having that, up here with the sports graphics and stuff. And actually, I'm going to run
Oh.
in a few minutes to
Wait.
start working on that.
So you're going to go.
Yeah, I'm going to go start working on the points here to make sure we can get those out to the athletes appropriately in between races.
Well, then it would be more exciting if you were here, but
I wish I could be.
so let's do something exciting. Let's get a special guest.
Let's.
How about Pat Wetland?
Pat Wetland would be a great choice.
If there's anyone that knows anything about
Yes.
pack racing
Yes,
and mass start, it is Patrick Wentland. And should we get him over here?
let's do it.
Patrick Wentland. It's
Right.
the man
I'm
on the
turning
street
it
quiz.
over. Have fun.
All right, we're gonna do a switcheroo, so hopefully it doesn't throw you all off. I'm gonna go to that side. Did the race
Okay.
just start?
Yep, they're
Right.
going.
So this is a free this is a free lap they're doing right now, kids. So
Yeah.
because my seat is perfectly positioned, camera A, camera B.
All right, good
wow.
luck, guys.
Okay, let's introduce Patrick Wentland. Well, he's the man that needs no introduction, that's for sure. Welcome, Patrick.
Morning, Dave.
Head coach of the Colorado Gold. So the race has started,
Okay.
and let me get my little cheat sheet here. I'm going to run everyone through some of the information that Matt sent us, but let's introduce our athletes and let everyone know who's racing. We have helmet number 301 is Mia Kilberg. Helmet number 302 is Georgia Birkland. Number 303 is Thalia Staley. 304 is Lindsay Woodbury. 305 is Rebecca Simmons. I'm catching a theme here. They kind of go in ascending order.
Yeah.
And that you sound good.
Thank you.
Have you done this before?
Just on my own, and like in the restroom, just in front of the mirror, just
Right. Well,
practicing for that one debut when I have a chance to sit next to you and
wow.
learn how to do this.
Well, we may have to rope you in more because I like it. And then finally, 306, Libby Williams. And wait, Libby's one of your athletes.
She is.
Tell us about Libby.
Libby's been on ice with us now for maybe 2.5 years.
Uh-huh.
Former figure skater.
Okay.
Used to speed skate as a kid growing up in, I think she was Missouri, and she used to skate come down Milwaukee.
Sprint lap coming up. So athletes are going to choose a moment during this lap to start sprinting, and we're going to give away some points depending on where they cross the line.
It's not looking real aggressive out there at this point, but half lap to go. We'll see what happens.
Let's see the number of points we're going to give out. So the first athlete to cross the line is going to get.
Someone's heading out.
It's written down. Where is it? Got this. Apparently I should.
And we have points there. Number 105 is.
105 is Hang on a second. As you can see, we don't do this a whole lot. Who was that? 105? Or was it 305? Was there a 5 on there?
Lindsay.
Ah, there it is. We'll just look at the scoreboard. Let's see. Rebecca
Oh,
Simmons.
Rebecca. Okay,
Yep.
there we go.
And then Lindsay Woodbury, then Mia Kilberg, and then Georgia Birkland. So they all accumulated a few points there.
Very good.
They're going to start sprinting again at the next bell lap. With 9 to go, you'll hear the next bell.
Yeah.
Pat, you know a little bit about mass start and
Well,
pack
this
racing?
is, if we had this back when I was skating,
Yeah,
I would have probably gone this direction instead of short track.
really.
I loved mass start long track.
Wow.
I mean, we did it at, at club meets and nationals and skating in Milwaukee and
Yep.
the old outdoor rink. You and
Mhm.
I'm sure, did this with each other many a times.
And Paul Marchese?
Oh, yes, with
We
Paul.
we
Paul,
had,
you out there listening?
I hope so. Maybe he'll see the replay. This is
Yeah.
being recorded on a YouTube channel. 10 laps to go. So the next lap, we'll hear a bell, signifying that the athletes will hopefully start, getting a little more aggressive, making it exciting for the folks at home.
No, for me, this was the fun. I was more of a strategy skater than power.
Mhm.
Didn't do well just doing metric on my own, but I love this stuff. This is racing as far as I'm concerned.
There's some strategery going on
Yep.
here. Some of the memories I have in terms of racing with you and Paul and all the folks in what we call pack style racing is that, for me, my big strategy was just time trialing, hoping I could drop you guys, and that could work here, but
It could. After 3.5 full days of racing,
yeah.
as these ladies don't have a whole lot left in the tank.
Let's see, but some moment now with hopefully the next 200 meters. So similar to what Matt mentioned earlier, the athletes are trying to accumulate points with each preem. Those get accumulated, and once they cross the line after the final lap, they get awarded a big chunk of points. Now, whoever wins this race definitely gets to go to the World Cup. We're picking 2 spots.
Oh, all right, great.
And then the second place, or the second spot, or hang on, we'll just watch the action here.
Yep.
Looks like Thalia got some points, Rebecca got some points, and
yep. Thalia, Rebecca, and Lindsay.
Lindsay, okay. Now this is kind of neat. An opportunity for some of our athletes who may not have qualified in an individual event can now hopefully get a spot for the mass start.
Yeah. And, now being a medal event at the Olympics and good possibility for medals at any world champions, World Cups, this is a great opportunity for these ladies.
What do you think about, a short track background? Do you think that could come in handy with something like this?
Extremely.
Okay.
I mean, I'm still a strong believer that these athletes, as long as they can in their career, should be skating both long and short.
Mm-hmm. Well, Colorado Gold, you guys, and maybe we should kind of clarify a little bit. Pat Wentland is the head coach for the Colorado Gold Speed Skating Club. We've mentioned you a few times here on the live stream. And you don't have a long track.
We don't.
No.
We are in the very early stages of talking about trying to build one.
Okay.
So we don't have to travel here, Wisconsin. We can maybe sleep in our own beds every once in a while.
You guys travel very well, but it's interesting. Even though you don't have a long track, you still have some incredible skaters like Aiden Meacham.
Yes.
He was our long track development athlete of the year, right?
He was.
What's the secret to Aiden's success?
He works pretty hard. He's him and Libby, like Libby out here in this race, 2 kids along with quite a few others we have in our club that they have a desire to do better. They will do what you tell them. They'll do as much of it as you want them to do, and they don't whine and complain all that often.
Yep.
And they work hard, and they're seeing results, which is nice.
At some point, I want to talk to you a little bit about some of the other athletes that you've coached, but we're kind of getting down to the nitty gritty now.
Yep. Athletes get fun here.
Yeah. Again, the winner of this race will automatically qualify for a spot to go to the World Cups and compete at the ISU World Cups and the mass start. So we got another bell lap coming up for a sprint preem. Now, the interesting thing is, Pat, is that doesn't matter how many points you accumulate with these sprint preems, the total of those points accumulated do not exceed the amount of points that you get when you win the overall
So
race.
it doesn't. So the winner here is winners technically might be just sitting back, just waiting for a sprint at the end.
I know someone that liked to do that a little bit.
Yep. Yep.
But hey,
we do have some history there, Dave.
yeah, it was awesome. I mean, me, you, and Paulie. I
And
mean,
here we go, Rebecca.
all right, coming up. Rebecca, Lindsay, and Thalia. So,
yep.
What do you think here? So, Mia Kilberg is a professional cyclist.
All right.
How do you think that kind of comes in handy?
She do track, road.
Road.
That's very handy. She knows exactly what she's doing out there.
Mm-hmm.
I would assume she's saving a little kick for the end.
Okay. And she historically has represented the U.S. in this, as well as Georgia Birkeland. Georgia being an Olympian, representing the United States.
Okay.
So this will be interesting. You know.
Yeah. No, it's we're coming down to it. They're all together. So like you said, this comes down to who wants to go to the World Cup.
And we're going to do 2 of these today.
Yep.
So the winner of this race will get an automatic berth on the World Cup team. And then, well, if that same person wins the second race, we'll have to go to points to pick our second spot.
Okay.
So 2 to go.
Here goes the pace.
All right. Who is that, Pat? Who's out there?
I'm not sure.
Let's see. You know, if my eyes were a little better, I'd be able to.
Yeah, I'm looking at the same thing.
What is that?
See Libby in third. I don't know first and second.
There is a clear.
We'll know here in a second.
Yeah. 301 in Kilberg and Georgia Birkeland.
We got Mia and Georgia, exactly.
Yep. So looks like, well, this will be interesting.
Yep.
So even though the 2 are teammates now it's a dogfight between the 2 of them.
And it is going to come down just around this last corner. Let's see what happens.
This is fun, Pat.
Oh, here we go.
Are they going to sprint for it?
No, not too much.
Okay. Huh, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, could you tell? Did that look like Mia came in first?
Yep.
All right. So we're giving out points now. First, second, third, and fourth place.
Libby third and Rebecca fourth, Talia fifth.
Okay. Mia Kilberg automatically qualifies for that first spot on our World Cup team. Congratulations, Mia. And then awarding finish line points to Georgia, Libby, and Rebecca, huh?
Yep.
Okay. So here's the point.
Rebecca got a few during the sprint laps.
Yep. So besides the fact that you and I get a chance to catch up and have a little fun, Matt Corman is actually down at center ice tallying up points. So
we'll wait for his official tally.
Oh, I'm not. Yeah, and I'm not going to even try and attempt to try and figure out the points right now. But we know for sure that Mia is definitely going. Now here's the point breakout.
And that doesn't matter what happens in the first or the second.
She's going no matter what.
Okay, got it.
So perhaps if Georgia wins the second race, then it's kind of locked up and the points are irrelevant. So here's the total points that they get for the final crossing the finish line. So 60 points if you come in first, 40 points if you come in second, 20 points if you come in third, 10, fourth, sixth, fifth, and seventh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Third for, let me start over. 60 for first, 40 for second, 20 for third, 10 for 4, 6 for 5, and 3 for 6. 3 for 6.
Yep.
So next we'll be doing the men's mass start. Have a little bit of a bigger field there.
Yep. And this will be elimination, I believe.
Let's see what's happening. Yes, very good. All right, so we're going to do another mass start event in a second. Pardon me? We're live on the air right now. We're live on the air right now. Yeah. So we're going to go to a second race right now. This one will be a little bit different. This is going to be what we call the AmCup mass start race. So the athletes competing in this event will not be competing for a World Cup spot.
Because those spots are sewn up already?
This is just sort of like an a separate mass start that's part of just the American Cup series.
Got it. Got it.
And this one will be a little bit different. It's an elimination. The elimination, it's almost like a fun race,
Right.
to give the athletes some experience. And the number of laps depends on the number of athletes that are competing. Now, there's no sprint preems in this next one. This next one will be 16 laps, and the key is elimination. You don't want to be the last one to cross the line.
Get one free
After
lap,
every lap.
and then we start pulling them out.
Yep.
Got it.
So when they do one lap after the free lap, the race really gets on, because then from that point on, whoever's in last place has to get out.
Yep.
And so I'll kind of run you through who's in this. Emery Lehman, Casey Dawson, Connor McDermott Mostowy, Ethan Sepuron, Jordan Stoltz, Jonathan Tobon, Dylan Woodbury, Zach Moore, Augie Herman, Herbie Harrison, Tommy Fitzgerald, Carl Titelli, and Will Silk. Now, some of those athletes, yeah.
Original schedule calls for men to start at 9:20.
9:20, so it's 9:15. So we'll go in about 5 minutes.
Yep.
Okay. Well, you and I can definitely fill that airtime, unless do you need a glass of water or something like that?
Oh, I'm good right now.
Okay. All right. So, just to let everybody know, here's the order of events. We did our first women's World Cup team selection mass start. We're now going to go to maybe you can confirm on your schedule there. You're going to go to the AmCup mass start.
It is called the World Qualifier.
Oh no. We're going to go right to the World Cup qualifier. Okay. And then
then the mass start AmCup is going after that. All right.
Then we'll do the
different
two
group.
Okay.
Yep.
So the fun races, if you will, the AmCup, the practice races, or the conditioning races, those will go towards the end. So sorry about that, folks.
No problem.
In 5 minutes, we'll do our men's our men's mass start, and I'm going to have to give you a different start list there. Oh, you know what, Pat? This is what I get for going on the fly with Matt. That list I just read to you, that is those are the folks that are actually competing for the World Cup. Yeah, I thought we were going to go. Yep.
B group first, A group second.
Yep.
Right. Gotcha.
Yep. So again, I'm going to read through that list, and this is going to be the folks that are actually competing for the World Cup spot. Emery Lehman, Casey Dossman, Connor McDermott Mostowy, Ethan Sepuron, Jordan Stoltz, John Tobon, Dylan Woodbury, Zach Stoppelmore, Augie Herman, Herbie Harrison, Tommy Fitzgerald, Kari Titelli, and Will Silk. They are going to be competing for the world spot. And similar to the women, whoever crosses the line first has an automatic berth, and the second place and beyond will accumulate points, and then we'll kind of see how things shake out. So.
Right. Should be good. These will be big, exciting races.
So just again, I wonder if Mia will race in the second one. I mean, she's already got it locked up.
True. Good experience, though.
Yeah. All right.
And is it the same for the men's race where first person automatically goes? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So in similar point system, so whoever crosses the line first at the end of the race will get automatic 60 points. Second.
Do we have one spot filled already from Joey, or?
Oh, that's a good question. Does he have a medal contender
for the mass start?
Clause? I like that. Let me text.
Do a little digging.
Do a little digging. KC. Strategery. It's a text from my good friend Casey Boudier.
Oh, what's Casey up to?
Casey.
Out for a roll this morning?
Yeah, I think he's
out
watching.
All right, good, Casey.
All right. Yeah. Do this.
Is that where your messages come up over there?
Oh, yeah, that's to Matt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got about 1 more minute, and then
Yep.
we're going to do the
They're
men's
getting on the
mascot.
ice now.
Yep. So, oh, we got a little clap there. New subscriber.
All right.
Not seeing a whole lot in the chat room, but where is it?
Where is your chat room?
There. It should be here.
Nobody's awake yet this morning.
Yeah. Let's see who's in here. We possibly not have anyone in the chat room? I don't know. Let's see. I'm just going to shoot Matt a note to see if Mr. Mantilla.
Yeah, I'd be curious. Could make it a little more interesting out there. Less spots to fill.
I'm going to take a wild guess. Well, I'm not going to guess anything. I've already confused the people out there enough right now. So
everybody's still waking up this morning, including you.
Well, you know,
it's only been what, a couple cups of coffee already?
Yeah, you know, and this is the first time we've ever really done this before.
You know, I've heard nothing but great response from people from our club, from the coaches watching, from people in the stands. We've had a chance to go back with my skaters in the evening and rewatch the races. Listen to the commentary. You've had some great pointers here and there on different skaters, and to me, it's just invaluable stuff. And spreading this out for the people that can't be here, giving them a little background behind skaters, behind technique. Listen to Jeff Kleiber come on and talk about a few things, and a few other your guests you've had. To me, it's you know, instead of just watching skaters going around in a circle, you have a little something going on, and I think it's added a whole new dimension to what USB Skating's offering here. It's a great thing.
Well, that's thank you, Pat. That's great. You know, you always wonder what the folks out in TV land are thinking, and it's nice to have that affirmation. You know, we're always looking to improve.
I'm sure you got your haters too, but
oh, you kidding me? Oh, I'm sure I'm going to get roasted for screwing up what the second race was.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But that comes with the territory, right? You know, you put yourself out there and you avail yourself to constructive criticism.
There you go. There you go.
You know, you as a coach know, and actually, you know, I've told people, said, look, you know, if you have any suggestions, let me know. Just like when we're skaters, you take that constructive criticism and you try to do a little bit of a better job.
Yep.
All right, so here we go. Introducing our athletes for the men's mass start. Again, to clarify, we are picking a World Cup team spot.
Okay.
And my hope is that
Matt, I'll get back to you with some details.
Yeah, now we are going to have a little bit of a break.
He looks like he's down there calculating points.
I know, I don't envy that.
No.
You know.
So it looks like front lane, we got Emery, Casey, Connor, Ethan, Jordan, and Jonathan.
So 16 lap race.
One free lap, right?
Mm-hmm. Actually, the free lap is for the elimination.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So right now we'll just, you know, the skaters will sort of position themselves, and then, but they can take a position right now, but they can't do a breakaway. I think that's the rule.
Got it.
Yeah. But so I guess in a way it is a free lap.
Yep.
And then there'll be a bell at 13 to go. And that's when the athletes. It'll be interesting to see if there's a little bit of a sprint right now, as opposed to the women. Seem to be a little bit more laid back. You know,
everyone's looking a little pretty relaxed at this point. There's the gun.
Yep.
Start of the race. Oh, we do have movement on the outside.
Yeah. So now if someone wants to do a breakaway, they can go for it.
Just picking up our pace.
Mm-hmm.
We're out some of the sprinters.
So right now, yeah, just really interesting to see if someone like decides to go a breakaway and if the pack decides to let them go.
Dave, I remember this is what you used to do to us. You were coach, the great Pat Maxwell, used to have you go out, and every time we'd come around the coach's box, like, Dave, pick it up, Dave, pick it up, Dave, pick it up. And Paul and I would be behind you. Come on, just give us a break. And we'd just sit on you till the end and try and get you at the end.
I know. Well, you know, for me, you know, I always wanted to get a little bit of practice with some of the skaters that were a little bit more developed.
Yep.
I think you guys were maybe in the senior men A division.
At least intermediates.
I might have been what was called a midget. All right, so here we go.
Jonathan in front, Casey, Carl.
And let's see who makes a move and tries to sprint for some points here.
As we know, points aren't super important.
Tobon in first. Is that Ethan? Casey behind. I can't.
Casey. Yeah, I was going off the board over there.
Perfect. All right. Tobon, Emery.
We look like unofficially Jonathan, Casey, Emrin, Carl,
okay.
Thomas.
So they're racking up some points. Now they'll kind of settle back in a little bit, maybe. So what we're doing here is we're the live truck. So not only are we commentating and trying to.
We have a little breakaway.
We do have a breakaway.
We're
Who is
at
that?
Jonathan and Casey and Carl.
Casey and Carl. Now, is the pack? Let's see if the pack lets them go. Someone's making a move. Is that Connor? Can't tell. I think Connor's going to try and reel him in a little bit.
We're backing off a little.
Yeah.
No, they had a nice little gap. A long way to go.
All right, they're going to come up on 10 laps to go. Again, these athletes are competing for a spot at the World Cups. All right, Casey.
Carl and Connor.
Yep.
Say that 3 times fast.
Well, we will be, especially when they start sprinting. All right.
Picking back up a little.
Yeah. So they're coming up on 9 laps to go. And again, this is going to be a bell lap, and they're going to try and sprint for a preem. Maybe.
Okay.
So who is that, Pat?
That is still Casey, Jonathan, and Connor.
Okay. Got an athlete picking up, trying to bridge the gap.
Yeah, we have some movement from the back and the outside.
So I don't know. Pat, what would you do? I mean, you've got a ton of racing experience.
I always like to play up front, top 3, top 4. But got to be listening hard on everything going on behind you, constantly looking back.
Yep.
Otherwise, if I feeling like I had a good sprint in me, I'd be sitting in the back and
Yeah.
just keeping an eye on any movement up front.
Yeah. Yeah. So Emery, Casey, Jonathan, Connor, Carl, Zach racking up some points there.
Very good.
I don't know. You know, I guess it depends on.
I think we're really looking at a couple of guys hanging out, going for that first, second spot. And then other guys looking for some points.
Yeah. I like to see Carl Tatelli up there kind of mixing it up.
Carl knows how to mix it up. He's done a lot of short track, a lot of pack style. He knows what he's doing out there.
Yeah.
He's not afraid to be in the group.
He's a very good short tracker.
He is.
But a lot of, you know, just like you said, short track and long track definitely complement one another. And when Carl decided to focus on long track, I was pretty happy about that.
Yeah, I think it's great. He still does both. He's got a specialty, I guess, but he's working on his short track corners, improving his long track corners. I'd love to see a lot of these guys doing a little bit more of that.
Yep. So John Tobon. John is on our all-around national team, and the interesting thing here is we have members of our sprint national team and our distance national team. So this is sort of like that, I don't know, for lack of a better term, brackish water.
Yep.
Look it up, kids. All right, sprint preem lap here, and John Tobon on our all-around distance national team, but also a member of our junior world team. John competed last year at the Junior World Championships. In fact, I think John's competed at least in 3 Junior World Championships.
Yeah.
He's been one of our top juniors for quite some time now. And he'll definitely be looking to, well, he's going this year because he's already pre-qualified for Junior Worlds by earning a Fall World Cup spot. So,
that's great.
All right, we have a breakaway. Emery's going for it. So let's just see if he keeps going. Look at that.
Gaining some valuable experience out there is Will as well. He's sitting in the back. I think he's struggling a little bit to hang on now, but he's first time skating with the big boys out there.
Yep. Look at, now is he just kind of letting up a little bit?
Yep.
Wow.
Just wanted a couple points. Maybe
or
testing it out, see if they'll let him go or not.
I think that's what it is. Now, I would have just kept going. You and I, we would just kept going.
Exact. Well, you would have, and I would have been back there going, "Damn it, Dave."
All right, but now there is some movement going
Actually,
on.
Paul and I would have like strategized and like, all right, you lead one lap, I'll lead another. We'll catch Dave by the end.
Oh boy. Well, athletes like Casey Boudier and Joey, well, of course, Joey Cheek, who also has a strong inline background. But this is an event that, Casey, Derek, Chad Hedrick, they just eat this stuff up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If my body would let me,
Yeah.
I'd be out there just doing this. I love this stuff.
Now you notice that Tommy Fitzgerald just pulled off. The rule is if you get lapped, you got to get out.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're disqualified, and then you don't have an opportunity to take advantage.
Yep.
And here we are, bell lap. This is for all the marbles.
Oh, we got 3 of them here. We got Ethan, Connor, Jordan, Ethan, Connor.
Well, Jordan's been kind of laying low. I haven't.
No, he's didn't worry about the points. He's going for the overall win.
Holy smokes, that's one interesting strategery. Did that for you, Casey Boudier, the master of mass start. Good friend.
Here we come.
And who is this? Is that Jordan? Boom. Stoltz secures
Jordan
the guaranteed.
Ethan and Connor.
Okay. So Jordan Stoltz just locked up, and this is unofficial, right? A spot on the World Cup team for mass start.
Hey.
He's doing the 500. He's doing the 1,000. He's doing the 1,500.
Yeah,
he's doing the 5,000.
Wow. Maybe he can even cancel out of one or two if he wants.
Yes,
he still has time to make decisions.
Yeah.
And talking with Bob, his coach, he's really looking at to perfect his all around for Junior Worlds this year. So he really wants to get some experience and see what he can do.
Yeah.
Also, he can do it at Junior Worlds and pull off a Junior World Championships.
Wow.
So that may be his plan.
Is there anything that he can't do? Holy cow. So, wow. Okay.
That was well played, smart. He didn't use a lot of energy, sat in there the whole race, and went hard in the last lap.
Wow.
That was the way to skate.
So, he just kind of, he's like a hunter.
Yep.
Like a lion.
Yep. No, that was
getting ready to pounce.
That was playing for the win. Didn't worry about the points.
We didn't announce his name once.
No. He was sitting back. I don't think he was like 5th, 6th most of the way.
Wow. Hey, do you have your schedule? Let the folks know when.
Let's take a look here.
During the break, what I'd like to do is get some confirmation on what's happening with the men in the second mass start position.
According to the schedule, we got a timing break, and then the mass start AmCup is supposed to start at 9:40.
All right, so we got a little bit of time. We got 8 minutes before our next event. I'm going to see if we can get a little confirmation on what's happening with the men's second mass start spot. I believe, if I had to guess, Joey Mantilla has already got one locked up because of a medal contender status.
Yep.
Right? So potentially, unofficially, it would be Joey Mantilla who's got one locked up, and then Jordan Stoltz would have your second. So then, if any of you out there in TV land are like, well, why would they race a second one? Well, it's good to have those alternate positions locked up just in case.
Yep.
Yep.
Jordan decides he doesn't want to do it.
Right.
Joey decides he doesn't want to do it. There's another spot.
Yep.
You're right.
All right. So let's do this. I'm going to do my best to, put us in take a break mode without, putting us off the air.
Blowing it up.
Right. But I think for now, just to confirm, we've got on the women's side, Mia Manganello, confirmed World Cup spot.
Nice.
And on the men's spot, Jordan Stoltz. Lock that up.
Nice race.
All right. So I'm going to put us on mute and try and switch screens, and we will see you all in a little bit. Well, that's not too much of a train wreck. Yeah, you want to do more?
Yeah, sure.
So there's 2 of each one, so...
I think this little AmCup one should be kind of fun. We got a lot of no names out there getting ready to play around.
I do have a bottle of water, so... Joe, we are picking 2 spots for the men because Joe is not going to the first 2 programs.
Got it.
Yeah, we could look at that.
So we're gonna keep going. So I think I'm gonna have us go live now, and This is a little bit of a mix. All right. We're going to go, oops, uh-oh. What did I just do? Shoot.
Lose the whole screen.
All right, we're going to go live in 3, 2, 1. And we're back, everybody.
And we're back.
And we're back. Okay, so we're going to do another mass start. This is for the AmCup series. It's a good, like, kind of training race, practice race,
Yep.
if you will, development race.
Very good.
And athletes competing in this will be a little bit of a different race than what we just saw. There is no sprint preems.
Just elimination?
Just elimination. So right now I'm looking at the lap counter. Looks like it's going to be a 13-lap race, meaning there's going to be probably around 13 athletes skating.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be the last one to cross the line, because if you are, you're out.
Did you say you had results for the women's
I
official?
do. Let me just kind of pull that up a little bit. I'll read it off my phone. Okay, women's results.
Do have some international in this AmCup one, too.
Yep. Got some Colombians. We've got some. Okay. So official results for the women is Mia Kilberg, first place. Georgia Birkeland, second. Libby Williams from the Colorado Gold.
Yeah.
Third, according to points.
Very good.
Rebecca Simmons, fourth. Thalia Staley, fifth. And Lindsay Woodbury, sixth.
Nice. Well done, ladies.
Well done. So Mia got that first spot locked up. Went and had a quick conversation with Matt Corman, and we are picking 2 spots for the men as well.
So Jordan and who?
Well, we'll find out in a little bit.
Oh, that's right. We need a second spot.
Yep.
All right.
So I believe that Joey Mantilla has petitioned for medal contender status, as he is kind of take a break for the first 2.
Okay.
But we need, we need someone else.
Yep.
To go with Jordan. So the second mass start we do for the men's World Cup team selection will be relevant.
This should be interesting.
Things are about to get interesting.
And whether Jordan even skates it or not, doesn't have to, right?
Right. He doesn't necessarily.
Because I believe we have a team pursuit coming up as well. Not for points. I don't believe there's anything for that.
I think
but
it's just sort of, for
experience.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe our guys will want to go for a record.
Yep. But I mean, Jordan's experience as well in the mass start be good for him, and for anybody else shooting for that second spot.
Yep. Yeah, that will be interesting. So Jordan has a spot locked up, but it will be interesting to see if he skates that second one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Good times.
What would Max have told you?
I think we know. You don't sit out any of them, you know?
I tell my skiers the same thing. Unless you're injured, throwing up, broken bone, bleeding, even with blood. I mean, as long as you can put a Band-Aid on it, you can still get out there. And done that many times myself. I remember I had Dr. Gable stitch me up between races at short track trials once. Yeah. Brian Arsenal kicked back, stabbed me right through my shin guards.
Oh, my. Shin guards?
Through the shin guards.
Like the soccer shin guards?
Yeah. And ended up getting like 4 stitches.
Wow. Was that at 88 Olympic Trials in Troy, New York?
I think it was just World Team Trials in Chicago at some point.
I'll never forget 88 Olympic Trials. I did skate in them, Troy, New York.
Yep.
But, it was more of a development for me, to get some experience. But you, on the other hand, were an East Coast hero to us because, seriously though, Pat, I mean, you came in 5th?
Sixth. 5th or 6th.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
But it was amazing that one of ours, when I say one of ours, an East Coaster, because, Pat, you skated with the Bay State Club, and I was with Saratoga.
Yeah.
Almost like a sister club in a way.
Oh, yeah. We trained together a lot on weekends in Lake Placid and worked hard together.
Okay, so here we go.
All
Athletes are lined up. This is going to be a 13-lap race. Just a couple of quick notes I have on my cheat sheet here. Last person gets kicked out, but there is a free lap with no breakaways.
Ready?
So let's see what happens. This is a mix of men and women.
Someone's going to let them go.
We got Colombians. We've got all kinds of international athletes.
So on a free lap, if you are the #1 guy in the line, can you go?
Well, I believe that there's not supposed to be a breakaway, and they have to kind of maintain their position.
Okay.
I don't know how strictly that's enforced.
Right, like can you have 10 feet, can you have 20 feet, 2 feet? That may not have come up yet in the rule book. I don't know.
Oh, I'm sure it's out there. It's
Yeah.
just I probably got to brush up a little bit. All right, coming up on. So the free lap.
No,
No
12
one
to
wants
go.
to be last. So that was a free lap. So after this next lap,
Did you know we're putting men and ladies together?
yeah,
Okay.
mixed. Yeah, this is just a
Okay.
mixed mass
Got
start.
Oki leading, German second, Anders.
Yep. Okay, so we got the Netherlands with Oki. He's in first. German Torado from Colombia. Andres Campo from Colombia.
Actually, we have Netherlands, Colombia, Brazil, Colombia.
Wow.
Our U.S. guys are sitting in there just
Well, we'll see what
letting
happens.
someone else lead.
You know, 11 laps to go, and oh gosh, I don't even want to make the call.
Well,
I
we'll
don't
wait
know.
for the scoreboard here.
Yep.
We're looking Colombia, and then Aiden
Yep.
Meacham in third. Aiden's got some good pack practice. He does a lot of short track and long track, so
Yep.
see what he can do here.
Age group nationals.
Age group national, he did win age group nationals.
Mm-hmm. The interesting thing here is that you know, a lot of our internationals have a heavy amount of inline experience.
Right.
And so for them, they must just be loving this. All right, so
Do have a couple guys up there,
oh,
Aiden and Natasha.
yeah.
Natasha.
Wonder why no one's dropping out.
Oh.
Unless the format's changed and I'm not
That
not
could
aware.
have.
Oh no,
Someone's out.
someone's out. Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
They're getting him on the back. I think Derek's back there on the backstretch yelling at him. He's got a little.
Yeah. Oh, he's the police, huh?
It looks like it.
Deputy Derek?
He can probably catch you too.
Yeah, yes. Well, you know, Olympic gold medalist, Olympic silver medalist, a
Yep.
couple world records along the way. And who is this? 4:15 from Colombia.
We have German.
Yep.
And Eder.
Yep. So a lot of these international athletes are here training with the FAST program, coached by Mitch Whitmore.
Yep.
And certainly.
Okay, we have another one in the back. Looks like that may be Tristan.
Again, this is for practice. This is for experience.
We've got two that are standing up coming down the straightaway here.
So I think what happened was they probably pulled one person who didn't go out.
But in the lead, we have again German and Eder.
Eder, what a great guy.
Yeah.
Eder is hardworking, real positive, always got a smile on his face.
Great person to train with then.
Yeah, strong. Inline.
Okay.
Oh, Mary Brophy's out.
Oh.
Another Saratogian.
Yep. Which she's got to be upper 40s.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, she's younger than me, and I'm 50 now. Can you believe it? I'm 50.
You're getting up there, Dave.
I don't know when that happened. Well, I know when it happened. September 19th. So here, it's a little bit different in the respect that just first, second, and third determines your winner. It's not like the other one where you get points with sprint preems.
Yeah.
Periodically throughout.
Do have a breakaway of 3, and the next group of 4 are not seem to be gaining on them. They're not working together over here.
So who do we have there? We got German, Eder, and
Oki.
Eder, German, and Oki.
And then Mitchell, Aiden, and Anders.
So the internationals are kind of dominating this.
And we have a female up there in second pack.
Aiden Meacham representing for USA.
Yeah.
So, we did really want to give an opportunity. If anyone's wondering, well, how come we didn't allow some of these athletes in the internationals to race in our World Cup team selection? We really just want to kind of make sure that we don't have any perhaps interference, if you will.
Great idea.
Or influence where, perhaps unintentionally, maybe there could be a collision or impact. So we'll roll like another one, just exclusively for the internationals and the development athletes.
And we have had that with short track before. We've invited internationals into a team trials, and you get interference, and you have problems.
Yeah. All right. So who do we have here? Eder's still sitting in first, and
no one wants to lead. They're taking it wide, and then group 2.
Yeah. This is all
the chase pack. They're not chasing either.
Look at Aiden in there.
Come on, Aiden, get up there and take a lead. Actually, he tends to lead too much, so I'm happy he's pulling it aside.
Okay.
But they have their opportunity. The group 1 slowed down, and the lead group, and the rest of those guys did not take that opportunity to catch up.
How many laps to go? 3? 3 laps to go.
3
More
laps to
athletes.
go.
Yep. And you'll notice the field is thinning out a little bit as the last person to cross the line at the end of each lap.
Come on, get on those guys. Not too
Oh, we
late.
got a
Too
sprint.
late. Too late. Get on them now.
Is that Eder going?
Yeah.
Eder from Brazil?
Yep. I think he won. He won one of the ones last year, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. He is skating really well. He had a very, very nice weekend to date so far with all of his races. All right.
And here he's pulling away a little bit more. No one's really chasing.
Yeah. What do you think? Is he got it locked up? Do we have athletes that are just racing for second?
With 2 to go, no one's chasing him yet.
Yeah.
It's gonna
Okay.
be. Well, I don't know. Here they go. They're
All
starting
right.
to catch him now.
Well, that's the thing, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a little bit of a cat and mouse game, right? It's kind of like going fishing.
It's nothing like hanging out there. Actually, I remember Paul and I letting you hang out to dry out front, and they're like, "All right, we're gonna go get him with 5 to go or whatever it was."
And when we talk about Paul, we're talking about Paul Marchese,
Paul Marchese.
The Paul Marchese.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why he makes the best and the fastest speed skates in the world is because, well,
he's done it.
He's got all that race experience. All right, so what do you think's going to happen here? We got about 200 to go, or as
See,
Dick
we
Ring
spoke
would-
too soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. He who speaks too soon.
Yeah, and this is the finish right here.
Yep. All right. Well,
Brazil and Oki.
Okay.
Oh,
Oki.
Yeah.
There you go.
Very nice.
All right, our winner, first place, Oki.
Oki, German, and Eder.
Wow.
And Aiden for a 4th.
Hey, how
Very
about that,
good.
Coach?
I'm impressed. I'm happy.
Boom, blow it
Yeah,
up.
there you go.
It's really good. Yeah, that was exciting. All right, so there's your leaderboard, folks. Boom.
Got a lot of tired legs out there.
Mm-hmm. Got your schedule? Let
Yeah,
folks at
let's
home?
pull it out there.
This is great. Assuming
know.
I don't, screw it up too bad.
All right, we are looking at ice prep and then the women
Okay.
mass start 2 to start at 10:25.
10:25. All
As
right.
long as we're on schedule.
All right. So we'll be picking the women's second mass start spot at 10:25 for the women. Right.
Yep. And we have a final results for the men.
Look at that. Uh-huh. First place, Jordan Stoltz for the men. So again, official. Jordan has locked up his spot on the Fall World Cup team in the mass start. Ethan Sepperon second. And again, this is accumulated points throughout the race. Connor McDermott Mostowi third. Casey Dawson fourth. Emery Lehman fifth. Zach Stoppamore sixth. John Toban seventh. Augie Herman eighth. Herbie Harrison, he is skating great. I am a big fan. Ninth. Will Silk 10th. I'm a fan of all these guys. They're all incredible. Carl Titelli 11th, and then the one and only Tommy Fitzgerald is 12th.
Nice. That was a great race, and I think we're going to have even more fun in the second one because in the first one you had an extra spot. Now we're cutting the spots down a little bit. So
okay, so 10:25 is our start time. We'll see you in a little bit, and we'll go for that women's World Cup spot next.
Should be good.
All right. All right. Now, if I can figure out. Here it is. The scenes. Got it. Got it. All right.
email and on the app.
So what did you guys do with your sound now that it sounds so much better?
Let me get this and I'll explain it to you, and you're gonna be like, wow.
All right.
But when I tell you what we did, it's not as simple as what it sounds. So, okay,
Unless you're Robert Weiss, probably, and it's all logic.
we were here for like 3 hours each day after, even 4 hours one day, and trying to figure it out. It was crazy. Yeah. But yeah, it does sound better.
Oh, you can't hear the rest at all anymore. We could even probably play music now and it wouldn't pick it up.
Right. Don't know.
Yeah, Carl does a good job.
Yeah. Was Fitzgerald left too? Yeah.
Phil Carl.
I didn't even see who all gets left.
See who?
Who all gets left? I think get left. 60 laps. It wasn't that fast.
Right.
Hey, it's the last race. Come on, people. You can rest next week.
Right.
You're here to race. Pay $125.
That would be not bad.
Are you not freezing in whatever you're wearing?
I am. My hands are really hot.
You need a jacket? You meet the producer? You meet the producer?
Yeah, he, I don't want to disturb him because he's like,
Oh, we have the points figured out for AmCup.
yeah. Okay, so
It says stream audio is muted. I think they think it is, but I can hear you talk. Do they? I don't know,
someone said that?
It's our talk.
It's okay.
Hey man, I need your help, buddy. I always try and feel like it's a hot line. So, I don't know, I had this, like, I hit this button and someone said they could hear us. So I just popped it way down. But, I mean, it was like this. Someone said they could hear it.
we go. Can you talk?
Hey,
There you go.
everybody.
We're back.
Are we back? Hey, Gordo, could you let us know if you can hear us? We got
Back to another bell lap.
Gordon Sepuron helping us out. We are all right. Sounds like thanks, Luis. We already listened. You can hear us. Gordon Sepuron helping us from remote.
Nice.
Tech
Comes in
support
handy.
remote.
Someone's got to know how to work this stuff.
Right. All right. So here we are. Now you have audio, but we're in the middle of the women's second mass start event to pick the World Cup team, and
Coming up for our bell lap points here.
this is a preem lap. So who do we have there? Is that Lindsay?
We have, looks like Mia Georgia Lindsay.
Okay, Mia Georgia Lindsay accumulating points there. We had one athlete that was in the first event not participate in the second event.
Libby?
Libby
Yep.
Williams. And
He had a little experience with breakfast again after that one.
okay, all right, sometimes that happens. At least you know she gave it her all.
Yep. Oh, okay.
All right, here we go.
Now, we've split up in the lead. Mia, Georgia, Rebecca.
We back?
All right, guys, you're just in time for the last half lap.
Yep.
Pardon our technical difficulties. Dave's got some fat fingers here, just pushed the wrong button.
Well,
That's not really.
oh, I'm gonna throw the computer under the bus on this one. It just totally restarted on us.
Coming into the finish.
Okay, unofficially, Mia in Georgia.
Yep.
So have to take a look at the points total.
Yeah, Rebecca too. She had good points on the first race.
Yep. So
but I got a feeling the final points coming across the line are going to count pretty high.
Yeah, they're going to count pretty high. I'm not going to risk it and try and anticipate who had all the point totals going, but with Georgia coming in second and being ranked second overall coming into this event after the first mass start.
Let me see if I can take a look and see where we were after the first one. After the first one, yeah, Georgia was sitting in second with points.
Yeah.
She had 40, Libby 20.
Yep. Well, everyone knows. I mean, I am the self-admitted non-math major here.
Yeah, so most likely, according to our amateur math work here, it's looking like Mia and Georgia.
All right. Okay.
See if I can pull up the points from the men's first one.
So after that one, looks like Mia first, Georgia second, Rebecca Simmons third, Thalia Stalley fourth, and Lindsay Woodbury fifth.
Okay.
Now during that, some of the folks at home, obviously not here live, weren't able to see, but Lindsay Woodbury made herself a little breakaway.
She did.
And had a nice gap. I don't know if I had to estimate, say maybe 60 meters or so.
She had almost a corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what do you do at that point? If you're the pack, obviously they let her go a bit.
Yeah.
But Lindsay, decided it was, best strategy maybe to.
Maybe she was hoping one other would have gone with her.
Yeah.
And maybe with that, she might have been able to keep it going.
Mm-hmm.
But I think at some point her legs said no, and the pack slowly reeled her in.
Yep. So what we'll do is we'll kind of hold off. Expect some official results once they tally up all the points.
And we can show you maybe our.
Let me see there.
Points for the men's as we're going into the second.
Yes.
I don't know if they can even see that there, but where we're sitting, it looking like Jordan Stoltz with 60 points, Ethan Sepron with 40, Connor with 20, Casey with 12, Zach with 10, Emery with 10, and Jonathan with 5.
Right. And what do you have
with
for
a second spot up for grabs?
What do you have for a start time for
Start time.
Start number 2.
Let's see what we're looking at. Men's. No, that was. It's like the showing 10:45.
10:45. All right,
So we're
so it's
coming
about
up
6
6
minutes.
minutes.
Yeah. All right, what I'm going to do here is see if I can
Shut it down
huh?
without crashing.
Right. I'm not going to shut the audio down because we all know what happens there. So we'll have to just keep it rated G and don't say anything that your grandmother wouldn't want to hear.
Got it.
Right. So let's see if I can get a little bit of start screen. Do this. Hello. Hello. Whoa. You're popping. Patrick, did you what did you say the restart time was?
10:45.
Okay. 10:45.
Double check.
Hey, watch this, folks. 10:45. All right. Wham. 10:45. In the meantime, I'll just let everyone enjoy the sound of my sweet voice.
Plug that.
Well, I could unplug it for all the folks in TV land, but then
Right now, that's pulling sound from the speakers.
right,
From the mics,
right,
you plug it at close.
yeah. Sometimes it's better just to leave it. You know? I could just use this as an opportunity to
Catch up a little bit.
catch up a little bit. All right, well.
So, Dave, I know you're working out of Milwaukee with U.S. Speed Skating and development.
Absolutely. Yep.
What plans? What are you working on out that way?
Well, number one thing is to make sure that the athletes that we have racing, make sure that our athletes that we have racing coming up through the talent development pipeline are continuing that development, right? So, development's a very broad term, at least in my perspective. Yes, it's helping those athletes at the club level, whether they're, skating with Wisconsin Speed Skating Club, or St. Louis at Gateway, or we've got a few clubs, as you know, being a Chicago native,
Yep.
which was surprising to me. Right now, I think the biggest active clubs in the Chicagoland area are Franklin Park, Glen Ellen, Park Ridge, and Northbrook.
Yep.
Right, and then Northbrook. In Glenview, Illinois, there is the North Shore Speed Skating Academy.
Right.
And so a lot of those clubs, they have athletes that are 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old,
Yep.
right? And then helping them kind of progress up and maybe, get them to the next level. But helping those club level skaters get competitive at the regional level, help those regional level athletes develop and hopefully get named to a national team.
Yep.
And then it doesn't stop there. So, I do a little bit of travel here and there and helping those national team athletes get to the Olympic team. And then, every once in a while, I'll have a chance to assist Ryan Shimabukuro and Gabe with helping some of our Olympians. And,
That's great.
Whatever little nugget I can get to hopefully get them on the podium.
No, as you know, you and I have talked about this a dozen times. It's development. Speed skating in the U.S. is badly needed. We need to continue working on it through our club levels, helping our clubs out, trying to find ways to get skaters, maintain skaters, and then develop those skaters and coaches. We have coaches coming out where we have clubs that don't have the knowledge, expertise of other levels, and sharing that coaching knowledge, getting that knowledge to those skaters, improving the abilities of those clubs all the way around. Any information, we've talked about a lot of different ideas on ways to do that. So I'm super happy to see that you're doing this and that we have someone in the seat actually doing that work because as we all know, the sport is dwindling, and if we don't keep working on our development, we're not going to have it.
Yeah.
And without that, we're not going to have our elite level athletes as well.
Yeah. I think one of the things that some feedback that we have is that clubs have said, really glad US Speed Skating's putting some additional attention on the development, right?
Yep.
And to your point, development isn't just on the athlete side; it's also on the coach side.
Yeah.
So Matt Corman, we have an entire development team: Matt Corman, Chris Needham, Bryce Holbeach, Marion Woolrab. Did I say Chris Needham?
Yes.
I said him.
So.
He's so important. I said him twice, right?
Yep.
Shane Domer and God, I'm going through the horn there. I guess myself. I think that's pretty much everyone. If I've forgotten anyone, I'm sorry, but we have a team that's really focused on the actual just development, not just high performance. Oh, Andrea Doduk.
Yep.
Sorry, Andrea.
Yep, Andrea.
Yeah. Who is traveling right now with our short track team. They left today for their fall World Cups.
Oh, okay. At Montreal, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And
God, I remember that rink. Skated there many times.
Yes.
Yes, the old Maurice Richard.
Yes.
Did you ever skate there?
I've skated. If it's the same one that the Montreal International meet would be at.
Yep.
I remember being, in high school going up to watch the World Championships short track.
Yep.
I don't remember what year that was.
It's like 80s, late 80s. I want to say they had it up there. It was great competition.
Is that where Brian got cut? Brian Arsenault?
Might have been. I know I got sliced up there once and spent some time in a hospital. Okay, we have the men coming up.
Right.
Got cut, went to the hospital, had to get back for the relay. That was in the afternoon. I had like 30 stitches. Come back because we didn't have an alternate at that point. Got back and got a silver medal of the World Cup in a relay.
And that's not. And you just
and
got
then
that
I had to go back and get restitched up again after that.
And that's not the one that Dr. DeGable did.
No, this was long before cut-proof suits.
Oh my God. Okay.
Are we showing?
No, we're here.
Okay.
We are live. This is the screen that we look at.
Got it.
Okay. So here we are. The second mass start for the men, and similar to the first event, whoever comes in first, automatic berth to the World Cup team.
All right. Unless it's Jordan, then we go down to points.
Yes, sir.
Do we have Jordan in the field?
Let us see. We can ask our chief referee, Dave Okanuski. He's on the mic right now.
We'll find out in a second as they come down here through the finish line.
Yeah, I would like to know. Well, I know there were 16 athletes that were in the first one, I believe. Let me go back and do another count there. Maybe it was 16. Maybe it was 13.
I'll tell you in a minute here.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
There's
8, 9, 10, 11. Who is that number 408?
Jordan is in the lead.
Okay, so we do have Jordan there. Casey Dawson second, John Tobon third, Ethan Sepuron fourth, Carl Tatelli fifth, and Augie Herman sixth. All right, so similar to the women's event that we just saw, the men are doing preem sprints to accumulate points.
Correct.
So if Jordan wins this second event, we will then default to points like Pat just mentioned to pick the second spot.
This should be good.
Yeah.
And actually, this is where some preem laps might come in handy for a few of these guys if they're going for that second spot. If Jordan wins the race, if he does, then those points are going to be important. And who is someone moving off here? Going for a bell lap.
Is that Mr. Tobon?
Casey. Jonathan.
John Tobon.
Yep.
Going out. Well, let's see if the pack lets him go. Casey Dawson in second. Yeah, the thing is, we mentioned before, we have athletes that are both on our distance and all-around team as well as on our sprint team.
Right.
So, someone like John Tobon, who is definitely a strong all-around athlete, very good distance skater, could he, if he's timed it right, so all right, Tobon Emery Lehman, Casey Dawson, Carl Titelli,
They're
Jordan,
not going to let them
and
get
Ethan.
too far away.
No, so John, Emery, Casey, Carl, Jordan, Ethan, in that order, collecting points.
Yeah, letting them go.
Wow. Okay. Coming up 11 laps to go. Augie Herman.
Yep.
All right. Moves into second. And
Try and wear out some of those sprinters.
I got to say, you've got some switching skills.
Yeah, I'm failing every once in a while, but trying to catch myself as quick as possible.
Well, we'll call you the live truck.
All right.
Anytime I miss it, I just throw the live truck under the bus.
Live truck's having problems today?
Yeah. Technical difficulties.
All right, Augie keeping it going.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, coming up on 9 laps to go.
And I believe that would have been you, Dave, out in front there, pulling the pace, trying to wear out those sprinters.
Yeah.
This was after you. You never had this.
I never did. You know, what we used to have, the closest thing, I guess, was the marathon. Remember up in Lake Placid?
Oh, yeah.
They would occasionally have.
Oh, yeah.
It was a 25K and a 50K.
25 and a 50.
Marion. Yeah, and they are really bunched up right now. All right, let's see what happens.
Yep.
Okay.
Going for the bell lap.
Okay. Where's Dick Ring when you need him? And
yeah, he would have helped.
All right, we definitely do have some movement. I get the feeling that this may be the kind of sprint that just keeps going. I don't know.
We are 8 laps to go.
Yep.
That could easily happen.
Because take a look at this. What we have here is we actually got a little mini peloton.
Yep.
Right? And a group of those athletes in there, Casey Dawson, Ethan Sephiron.
Casey's been racking up some points.
Yeah. You know, there's enough strength there in terms of having some athletes that can keep that pace sustained.
And Jordan is sitting in that top 4 group.
Yeah. That they may just go.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're not slowing it down.
No. Yeah.
I got 4 with 2. I got 5 with 2 more right behind them. That's plenty enough to keep it going. So and that backpack is not chasing.
And where is Jordan sitting right now? Can you tell? Is he sitting in third? Yeah.
Third, yeah.
Sitting in I love sitting in third.
Good spot.
Third or second.
Yep.
You know, you never want to be in the back, right?
No.
Actually,
there's just the 3 are walking away a little bit here.
Yeah.
6 to go. They can keep that. It's a practice for these guys.
You know, Jordan skated a 6:33 5K a few days ago, so he's got the motor and the engine. And Casey Dawson and Ethan Sephiron, 2 of our bronze medalists for the team pursuit at the Olympic Games, right?
Yep.
So they can go.
Yep.
Now, if they start pushing team pursuit style.
Yeah. And they got a nice little group, 3 of them.
Yep.
4 and 5 are trying to catch on, but they're not. They got a big shoes to fill there.
All right, so this is 5 laps to go. Coming up, a sprint preem.
I don't think these 3 are worried about it.
No.
Knowing that Jordan is in there, he's going to have, but those points are going to come in handy.
Yeah.
I bet they're counting them out in their head.
Now, all these athletes too, grew up skating some short track and some pack style, so they're right at home here. So those 3, Casey, Ethan, Jordan, collecting points, sprint preem points. Zach Stoppelmore, Connor, and Emery, but those points are irrelevant. I think unless something catastrophic happens in the next few laps, I think it's going to be between these 3. And again, if Jordan pulls off the win in this, we will then default to points. So Casey and Ethan will then be dogfighting out to at least get second place in terms of points.
And what do we got for sprinters out there? Take me through. Who's got that final?
Zach Stoppelmore is, sitting in 5th right now. I would say out of those athletes, he's the closest one that could be considered a sprinter. But, Zach is an inline to ice athlete.
We got 2 down to 2.
Yep. Now, what you'll notice, I believe, did they just lap Carl Titelli?
Yes.
Okay,
Carl's
so then
out.
Yep, by the
and
rules.
We're looking at Ethan, 2 to go when they hit the line.
Yep. Now, according to the rules, once an athlete is lapped, they need to immediately report to the coach's box, where they kind of sit tight they still retain all those points that accumulate.
Right.
However, if they don't, then they lose their points.
This is Bell Lap.
Bell Lap final. All right, so we got this is for all the marbles, kids. So
And Jordan takes over the lead.
yeah, let's see what happens now. Jordan, obviously being a great sprinter, being the one athlete that skated in the 34s today.
And he's pulling away.
Yeah, Ethan is incredibly strong as well. You know, obviously does not have that same top end that Jordan would.
Coming into the final.
Okay, so now we're looking at who is going to get that second spot because of points. So, unofficially, crossing the line, Jordan Stoltz, second place, Ethan Sepuron, third, Emery Lehman, fourth, Casey Dawson.
Let's take a quick look at who had points going in here.
So fourth is Casey, fifth is John Tobon, sixth, Zach Stoppelmore.
Well, I don't know. I think we kind of figured it out. Going into this race, Ethan was sitting in second. Well, in points, where did he finish on this one?
Second unofficially.
Okay.
So
that's going to be tough to beat. So
he's
got lap prize points and he's got the overall finish second place.
Yeah. So you're a betting man?
Unofficial results probably means Ethan's going to be skating the mass start.
Again, I won't go ahead and make any predictions here. I always get myself in trouble when I start doing that.
Yeah, everything we say is, how do you say it? Off the books, off the record?
Yeah, it's pending.
Pending final approval.
Pending final approval. But
that was a good one, nice and steady.
Yeah.
I think we got a few tired legs out there, people fading off, but hopefully they got a little bit left for that team pursuit. I just want to do a quick shout out to my daughter, who's the only person listening in Arizona right now.
Arizona sounds pretty good.
Yeah. She was complaining that it's been 110. Now it's just got back into the 90s, and that's long pants, long shirt weather. According to her now.
And she's attending what?
Arizona State University.
Oh wow.
Movie production.
Really?
That's what she wants to do. She's actually started working on her first 2 already. So,
really?
Hey, Cassidy, how are you out there in Arizona?
Holy cow, Cassidy! We have a live truck here. I know it's probably a little, probably,
get some experience.
Yeah, but her skill set, I'm sure, is far more,
yeah,
what she's learning. But I got to tell you, our live truck right now for this mass start is doing really, really good.
I'm working on my right finger, left finger, moving the screen around.
Camera A, camera B.
Yep.
Camera A, camera B. It would be great if Paulie was here.
Yeah. Oh, stories. Paul's got the stories.
Oh my God. So, all right. So we have coming up another AmCup mass start while we await the official results.
Right.
For the men. Did they send out the official results for the women? Oh my God.
Thanks, Cass. So we do not have the official results for the women yet on the second race that I've seen.
Oh boy. Okay.
But we are coming to, the schedule shows us the next race to start at 11:20. Which gives us 22 minutes.
22 minutes of airtime to fill, because I simply don't know how to mute us. If only Gordon was here.
Yeah. Well, fill me in more on the, we're talking development. And,
sure.
Well, actually, they're getting people on the line, so maybe they'll go, actually, because they're not doing a resurface, it looks like.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll do a longer one after.
Okay.
So let's talk development.
Yeah.
And your plans. What are, you're working with the clubs. We're developing programs Midwest.
Yep.
I was lucky enough to be on a call last week with the Heartland Series group that's developing a racing series program for the Midwest. And I know we're going to be starting one for the West Coast.
Did they name it yet? I've heard some names kicked around.
Haven't heard an official name.
Pioneer would be a nice one. Did you hear that one?
No, that works.
I don't know if that's it. Sorry. If I let something out of the bag.
No, I like it. That works. So we're talking California, Arizona.
Puget Sound would
Puget Sound.
Okay.
I know they have a competition coming up. Colorado, we don't have one this year, but we're hoping to have a good size one next year.
Do you guys have an Olympic-sized rink in
We do
Colorado?
have the only Olympic-sized sheet in the state that we do practice at. Luckily enough, we have
Yeah.
pads, full pads all the way around, and enough for some pads in the crash zone, doubled up crash zone. So,
Uh-huh.
and it's a fast sheet. We the national team used to train there.
Right.
When I was coaching the national team, we were training there since the 90. We moved the national team there in 97 to get ready
Mhm.
for the Nagano high altitude Olympics, and
Mhm.
stayed through about 2001, and then moved the team to here,
Mhm.
Salt Lake, in 2002.
So do you think that there could be a day where maybe you have either a boardless pad system or a hybrid pad system? And hey, real quick, guess what? You guys can all see athletes are lining up, so we are not going to be waiting till later
Well,
to run this
yeah, but
race.
in answer to your question, while we watch these guys here, it's that concerns me.
Mhm.
So most rinks that have Olympic-sized sheets are cutting rinks down
Mhm.
so they can have hockey tournaments there. Hockey doesn't want to play in any an Olympic size anymore, so we're losing Olympic-sized sheets that way.
Mhm.
The speeds that our skaters are getting to, it's too fast for an NHL size rink, safety reasons. If you don't have a breakaway system like
Mhm.
this,
Mhm.
we don't have a breakaway system, and to have a good size competition or top level athletes there,
Mhm.
it's not as safe.
Yeah.
So we're eliminating Olympic size rinks. We don't have sufficient pads. We're talking more injuries and less. The only two rinks we can have a decent competition in now, well, this is, I think, the only one with breakaway pads here in
Mhm.
Salt Lake.
Mhm.
And Milwaukee, we have a good pad system, but we still have boards behind it.
Right. I think Lake Placid is going to be using what they call like a hybrid breakaway
They have
system.
the opportunity for that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So kind of like tying this in a little bit to development, right?
Right.
There's different levels of development. Definitely, club level, young, learn to skate. We talked extensively with Chris Needham yesterday during the 5 and 10Ks about, some of those initiatives. But, one initiative in terms of development that could use a little bit more attention is how do we get those athletes that are maybe just missed that World Cup team or just missed that World Championship team? And so that's where you have the FISU games coming in.
Yep.
And so the FISU games and then, a great opportunity for like some athletes like Tommy Fitzgerald, for example. He participated in last year's FISU championships in Lake Placid. So
Hmm.
did Thalia Staley and Anna Quinn and Will Gebauer and Connor McDermott Mostoe.
Right.
I know I'm leaving some folks out. Sorry if all you guys, we had just a great time. We had a really great showing. Um, Ilse Schob was there. And so that's a great competition for those athletes that just quite didn't make that world championship, didn't quite get that World Cup. So then, as you know, international experience can be pretty hard to come by.
Well, you and I have had this conversation a dozen times.
Yep.
Our skaters don't race enough,
Right.
long track and short track.
Yep. Yep.
And I think especially short track. Long track they can time trial just about any time.
Mm-hmm.
They're here. It's not quite the same, but short track skaters, they don't race enough. They don't know how to race. They don't know how to pass. They can time trial all day long
Mm-hmm.
in a lot of our clubs, but they don't know how to race. And that's great in the U.S. You can come to a competition, time trial out,
Mm-hmm.
and beat the competition. But if you can't do that
No.
internationally,
No.
you can't do that and win and keep qualifying on. We don't race. We need a race,
We.
and
Mm-hmm.
developing the Heartland Series, the West Coast Series, those things help,
Mm-hmm.
and it gives, like you said, the FISU games gives these guys a chance to race
Mm-hmm.
at a higher level. But any opportunity we can to develop more of that
Mm-hmm.
is going to help us. And the fact that we don't have rinks that can do that. A lot of clubs are only skating on NHL size rinks, and
Yeah.
a lot of our Midwest competitions only on NHL size rinks. And,
Yeah.
it's a little scary for some of these guys that are breaking into the eights
I know. Oh,
to do that.
remember back when we were skating, it was a big deal if you could skate a 9-second lap short track.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah. Well, end of my career, I think we were doing 8.6. It was rare. I mean, we were doing 8.8s, 8.9s pretty
Yeah.
consistently, and then now some guys are breaking in an upper seven. So we want to keep up with that. We got to figure out how, because it's not going to happen in an NHL size rink
right.
or with the padding systems that we have. And
Mhm.
that's another end of development that
Yeah.
we've talked about, besides just the coaching, the athletes, equipment,
Yeah.
safety equipment.
Well, another thing that's a big challenge is just securing ice time.
Yeah.
Right. So Pat, I really loved it when you came to visit in Chicago to Glenview, the North Shore Speed Skating Academy. it was a chance for you to kind of talk to some of those younger athletes, because one of the things I did want to talk about is you've worked with some of the best athletes of all time. I mean, I'll let you say, but there's a very special athlete who's, won more Olympic medals short track than.
I think is more Olympic. U.S. Olympic medals. He's the highest U.S. Olympic male medal winner, Winter Olympics, I think, something like that. I
And
think
he is who?
Apollo Ono.
Whoa. So you worked with him right in his very early years of transitioning from inline to ice.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, and we worked with them through up to the 2002 Olympics, and but even more than that, we had such a team that worked together with
Yeah.
Apollo, Rusty Smith,
Yeah.
Ian Baranski, Ron Biondo, Danny Weinstein,
Yeah.
and the girls too. I mean, with the last year that I remember coaching, we were doing World Cups. We earned 14 medals on the World Cup series during that one season.
Wow.
And that was, everybody was scoring medals. Ron Biondo,
Yeah.
Danny,
Right.
Rusty,
Not just one.
Rusty, Apollo,
Depth.
Amy Peterson,
Yep.
Aaron Porter,
Mhm.
Julie Goskowitz.
Oh my gosh.
That was the team. These guys and girls worked together.
Mhm.
They trained together. They worked hard, and they pushed each other. And we had results to show for it.
Yeah. So when you came and visited the North Shore Speed Skating Academy, it was great because athletes were able to listen and learn from someone like you that is just, a wealth of experience and a wealth of knowledge. And I said this a whole bunch of times, having a coach like you with the Colorado Gold is invaluable. It is right there with when we had Pat Maxwell coaching us, right?
Yep.
And so hearing them, when they had a chance to hear some of your experience and you said, you can do it with 3 days of ice a week. I mean,
I'm a strong believer in that. And I actually think a lot of our teams skate too much. And it's a different level. So, they're fine tuning a lot more. But I still think the technique and a lot of the training needs to be done off the ice. If you can't, my old thing, if you can't do it off the ice, you can't do it on the ice. So you got to get it down off. And yes, we're getting ready to roll here. So we'll keep chatting. But
12-lap race.
Yeah.
So we got a few less, right?
Right. Okay.
So we got 12
and elimination.
Yep. So again, similar to, all right, and just to re-clarify for everybody, this is an elimination race for the AmCup series. It's international. We are not picking World Cup team spots. This is simply for experience and training. And when you said something just now, you said, if you can't do it off the ice, you can't do it on the ice. You know what that reminded me of?
Pat Maxwell.
Yes, yeah. and actually, it just triggered me to hear, who said this? If you can't beat him in the heat, you can't beat him in the final.
Ted Kozinski.
Yes.
The Ted Kozinski.
The Ted Kozinski.
Yep.
You'll never find a kinder man out there.
No, Mr. Heatbox.
Are we switching? How the people are we?
Yeah, I suppose I should stop slacking on my job here.
No, you're good. See, this is what happens, the live truck, there's
Yeah.
All right, so now it's official. Okay, so now we're rolling. That first lap is, for lack of a better term, almost a freebie lap where you're jockeying for position.
I know, it's funny. I talk with Aiden's in the lead right now.
Hey, yo.
And he's like, I talked to him after the last race.
Yeah.
I'm like, what would you do differently? He's like, I led too much.
Really?
And look at where he is now.
Yeah, there he goes. Yeah, glad to see he learned.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Pat Maxwell kind of whispered something in his ear.
Yeah, no, that's what Pat would have had you doing.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
And see, now he's blocking. Well, we got Brazil's going to come around and
Oki.
Can't let Oki get out too far.
Do you think he's going for it? All right. Oki is he's gonna try and go now.
And does he got 9 laps in him?
The thing is Eder skated well. Eder I think's got a 10K in him right now from yesterday. So
okay. Right, and Eder's got the pack behind him. Whether he's got anybody that can help him lead or not, I don't know.
Yeah. There's only one way this telecast could be better besides having Paul Marchese. I would love if Casey Boudier was up here with us right now.
Got some good stories there too.
Casey, if you can hear me, man, I would love if you, but Casey might surprise you. He might show up in January at U.S. Championships and
ready to roll.
Yeah, and he did that. He always kind of stayed engaged, and I remember, he came out for the 2018 Olympic team, and would have loved if he had a chance to.
Oki was a pretty commanding lead here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I mean, I see him on Strava all the time out there skating laps. Casey.
Yeah.
He's putting the miles in.
He's American Ninja Warrior.
Yep, that is true. I love to see that live too.
Okay, so again, looking at this event, this is an elimination event. So whoever is last coming across the line is kindly asked to leave. Derek has a bullhorn on a backstretch. Oh my God, that reminds me of Mr. Cohen.
Oh, I do remember those days. I do. Indoor
Oh
with the
boy.
bullhorn.
Oh my gosh.
We are spread out now.
Yeah. Oh
So
boy.
Oki's got at least a corner
Yeah.
on everybody.
I got German Tirado from Colombia. We have Eder Lopez with a 10K in his legs from Brazil. I think actually Eder might have done every single event this week. So, and then we got a whole slew of Colombians: Andreas Campo, Thomas Estevez, and because this is a mixed event too. Laura Michelle is in there as well.
Got Oki coming down the back stretch. Got a little bit of lead, maybe 50 yards.
Mm-hmm. So
He's got a little pack behind him though.
Yeah, down to we got 5 laps to go now.
5 laps as Oki's coming around.
That's a big lead there.
We are spread out.
One of the things that for some of the folks, they might say, why are they skating on that blue lane? Or why are they skating on that inner? And one of the things that they do is for mass start, different from other events. There's no lane switching. There's no blocks. You can ride that rope. Meaning the rope that's not very
a little harder to pass on the inside.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, still about the same gap with 4 to go. Oki's going smooth. Brazil's slowly coming up behind him with German there.
Mm-hmm. German Tirado. Oh, I think he's maybe closing the gap a little bit. Eder Lopez, I think. Well, Eder's he's going for it now. One of the things we kind of mentioned earlier, a lot of our international athletes. I'm not sure about Oki. I don't know him as well, but a lot of our other ones have a very, very strong inline background. So for them, this is kind of right at home for them.
Yep. And they are starting to chase.
Yeah, they are chasing. A little bit of teamwork there.
Yep.
I got 2 Colombians.
That gap
Brazil.
is closing.
Yeah. So was it 2 laps to go, you said?
We got 2 to go when they come around.
This is it. Oh, wait, no, we got some team pursuits after
this. We do have
this.
team pursuits.
Yep.
Oh, 1 to go. All
right.
Let's see what Oki's got left in the tank.
Yep, and here comes German.
Yep.
Oh, look at that.
They're coming.
Here comes Eder and Andres.
Yep, they're coming.
Oh boy.
Oki's better have something on that last corner.
Got a pick?
I think German's got it.
Yeah.
He's gonna be tough to stop.
Oh boy. Yeah. Oh, he's passing. Was that an elbow? You see a little elbow there?
I didn't see.
God, yeah.
Nice finish though. Eder didn't go soon enough. He settles with a 3rd.
Yeah.
And who do we have 4th? We have
Andres.
Yeah. And Aiden coming in for 5th.
That's a pretty competitive field.
Now, top U.S. guy there.
Yep.
Shout out for my own skater there.
Yep. And
Mark from Netherlands.
Mark Whittigan. Yep.
Okay.
Aiden really has really come along. I'm very excited for Aiden. He was our Development Athlete of the Year, 2022. And, you talk about development. One of the things that's giving strong consideration is how can we help those Development Athletes of the Year kind of bridge the gap, for further years. I mean, it's really great because they get to come to a camp and they get a little bit of fuel, right?
Yeah,
motivation.
It's a good question because he and I have been talking about that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And the hard part is, I forget how it worked. Development as a A skater.
It's a C. Yeah, I think it's a C1.
C1.
Yep.
But then they go back to a B the next year, and they have a much harder time. So US Speed Skating's offering athletes something when they're a C1 and B1.
A little nugget.
And then you're getting them started on something, but then we kind of drop the ball a little bit as they go the next year. Maybe they're a 2 or a B, and they don't get that same thing. And then maybe the 3rd year, again, they're back up there age-wise.
Yep.
So Yeah, getting
What can we
something.
do?
What can we do to
Yeah,
bridge that gap a little bit? And I know that dollars and finances and opportunities are always limited, but
yeah,
um, yeah, just anything we can do our numbers are
yep.
so small to keep that group. William Silk, who had it last year,
Oh my
and
God. Yep.
and look at him again this year. He's skating great.
Oh,
He's did really good all weekend.
he's continuing to
For a guy who doesn't have a whole lot of ice time, they don't have ice time in Butte yet.
not yet.
I know he's
Yep.
coming down here a lot in training.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
No, so that's, and I think a big part of it is just continued engagement and dialogue with our membership, right? And so, talking with you and uh, believe me, I talk to a lot of parents, and thankfully because of that, we get the feedback, and sometimes things like aren't so obvious, but they're right there in front of you,
yeah,
right? And it is definitely something that is important to us as a sport, and so we'll see. But it's
yeah,
we're always trying to get better, right? I
yeah.
mean, it's not just like improving as an athlete, but always trying to get better as an organization. So we'll see, but it is sort of on our radar, and
Good.
no, well, not sort of on, it is on our radar,
Yeah.
and because you know there are various stages of development where that occurs, and luckily, we have a neo senior, which is kind of a bridger in terms of an age designation where you get some benefits and you get to participate once you are too old to be a junior, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because juniors historically are 19 and under,
Yep.
right? But then what happens once you turn 20, right?
Right.
And then
Right.
all of a sudden it's a cold steel world out
And
there.
that's when we want them to really bridge that gap onto the senior team and start
Yep.
filling holes we got there. Now
Yep.
that's always a tough spot.
Yep.
You've been there,
I've
I've
been
been
there.
there. And it used to be nothing for you,
Right.
or not much,
Right.
because you had to bridge that big gap from being a top junior to a bottom senior.
Yep.
You're right. No,
Yeah.
but there's so much talent coming up. Our juniors right now, oh my
Mhm.
gosh, our junior men, long track junior women,
Mhm.
there's so much talent coming up there.
Yeah.
And
Oh
anything
yeah.
we have to offer those guys and girls to keep them going,
Yeah.
will give us another strong senior team. But
Yep.
and then even behind them, again, I don't think we have the depth that we used to have.
Mhm.
But that's one thing we got to continue working. I know
No. Yeah.
that's a goal of yours, so
Yeah.
you're working on that.
Yeah.
And having benefited, right?
Yep.
And so just here's for example, in '92 at the Junior Worlds, I won a silver medal in the 3000, right? And that was my last year as a traditional junior, right?
Okay.
The Olympics flipped after the '92 Olympics in Albertville, which I just missed that team by a very narrow margin,
Okay.
right? And in the Olympics flipped to every 2 years, summer, winter alternating. So the next Winter Games was '94, right? And so um, after I finished my junior year in '92, I was then a senior or a neo senior in '93. Luckily, we had the neo senior program because I didn't make the '93 World Cup or World Championship team
Okay.
for seniors,
Okay.
right?
Yep.
So what I was able to do then is still compete with other neo seniors internationally. So they took the neos to Europe, and we
Okay.
traveled with the juniors,
Great.
and got to do all kinds of country matches. And thankfully, that kind of bridged the gap because otherwise I would have been home,
Yeah.
right? And then what? Then your season ends in January. What I probably would have done is probably would have gone and skated some short track.
Right.
But still, not once you've competed internationally as a junior, you've gone to the Junior World Championships. You try and make that jump to senior, and some of our younger athletes are doing that.
Yep.
But we're all on a different development pipe, and guess what happened? I wound up making the '94 Olympic team,
Right.
and I am convinced that if I didn't have that neo senior year, I may not have been able to make that '94 team. The '94 team I made in the men's 1500 as I think I was probably the youngest male on the long track team.
Yeah.
And then that just kind of set up the trajectory for the rest of my career,
Yeah.
right? But what could have happened without that neo year? And so for me personally, that really resonated with me, and it's nice to have that lens. So as we're talking about development,
Yeah.
I keep that in mind. We have some juniors right now on the men's side that are aging out. I mean, I believe Augie Herman is a last year junior. Jordan Stoltz is a last year junior on the women's side. Greta is a last year junior now. Jordan obviously having no problem transitioning.
Right.
Greta is making the women's World Cup team as a senior. So,
Yep.
but We all develop at a different pace.
Right.
And, you know, for me, I was always a little late bloomer, if you will.
I'm right with you. I'm still working on it.
Do we have a start time for
Let me see what we got here.
TPs? Assuming we are still doing the
If
TPs.
we're still on schedule,
Yeah.
team pursuits are supposed to start at 11:55.
Oh, whoa. Okay. Well, that would be 30 minutes from now.
25, 30 minutes.
Yeah. Are we doing a Zamboni
Yep,
break?
Zamboni's out there.
Okay. Let me
Take
hang
a
on.
break.
Yeah, let me. I'd mute it, but I clearly don't know how to do that. So, and then when I do it, then yeah, then the system is down. Hang on. Hey Dave, do we have a start time for team pursuits? 40. Okay.
20 minutes. Looks like 11:40. People will be back at 11:40 to start the to team pursuits.
Yep.
20 minutes from now.
Okay. I'm just gonna leave the headset on, but I might, you know, give it a little rest.
Yeah, I know. Or we could just keep talking, but they might get tired of us.
Let's see if the official results for the men are out, then maybe we can share that with the rest of the folks in TV land.
Let's see if we can find those.
Hey, you got a little note here in the chat box from Eric. Hi, Patrick Wentland. How's it going, my old friend?
Eric.
Michael Corman just
Mike
tuned in.
Corman. So no, Mike was another guy.
Yeah.
Back in when we were training. I mean, with Apollo and Rusty.
Yeah.
Mike was scoring medals, World Cups. Mike was superb skater.
Yeah.
Had a great guy. Hard worker. Worked just as hard as anybody else. Strong team member that really worked. Good to see you, Mike. I see your ads for your mortgage business all the time. I hope that's going well. And the family. That's a family right there.
So
Yeah.
2 kids, right?
Yep.
Living in great state of Michigan.
Right.
I think they're in the probably Detroit area ish. I know they're originally from Grand.
Glen Ellen or Park Ridge team.
Okay.
I mean, this was back in the 70s, 80s. But
Yeah.
Hi, Eric.
So it's so funny because, you know, for those of you that may or may not know, you know, you hear me reference Pat as Bay State, but then, you know, we're talking about you as being a Chicago native. Pat, I've known you probably since my earliest memories of skating.
Yep.
I remember every year going to Pittsfield, Massachusetts for the big rivalry where the clubs would compete for the leg of the trophy.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Saratoga and Bay State. And, you know, for years and years and years, I mean, I knew you as sort of a Bay State skater. And literally less than a year ago, I find out you're not from.
I grew up
Yeah.
a club called Lilacia Speed Skating in Lombard, Illinois, and that club eventually folded. We had some great skaters back then. Skated with Glen Ellen till we kind of lost some of our ice time there, and then I couldn't resist. I mean, Chuck and Donna Burke, probably some of the greatest coaches I've ever had to work with, and still to this day, just a lot of the stuff I use for my coaching have come from Pat Maxwell. And Chuck and Donna Burke.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I saw them recently.
At the
70th anniversary
yes.
to celebrate Northbrook.
Yeah, no, I mean two of the greatest names, 3 including Pat Maxwell. I mean, you know, Pat Maxwell's short track is where it is in the U.S. because of that man, and you know, and everything he's done along with Jack Mortel and a few others. But Chuck and Donna. I mean, so I had the opportunity to go and our practices at the Park Ridge Club, and consisted of Bonnie Blair, world champion short track skater. You know, all the top Northbrook skaters would come there. All the top Park Ridge skaters, Glen Ellen skaters. You know, it was a national level practice 2 or 3 days a week in Park Ridge. It was.
And it was club.
And it was a club practice.
Yeah. think about some of those national championships. And I think one of the things, we're talking about development, and it's an idea that I have, and I don't know if everyone necessarily agrees with it, but how great would it be is if we could get more of our elite level skaters to compete at some of the pack competitions, age group nationals. Now, I know a lot of it would have to, coincide with an ISU calendar, right? Which
Yeah.
is probably near impossible.
Yeah.
But, really, because I think about all those great meets like Great Lakes long track, Great Lakes short track, even, the Saratoga meets, all these meets where we would have, folks like you of your caliber coming to compete at, and then you had, some of the athletes that were, juvenile, junior, midget, all that kind of, and those are the former age designations. We don't call it that anymore. Now they're
Right.
junior C, C2, B, D, and all that kind of stuff. But so, you know, that really, from a development standpoint, I think that was something that really, really helped because here you are, a young up and comer, and then all of a sudden you see, you know, really, I mean, you were here, they were heroes to us,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Competing at some of these meets. So it's just an idea. I'm sure there's, reasons why we wouldn't be able to do it. I mean, but
And at times there are, but I still have a really strong belief you gain more out of a competition than you do weeks or a month of training.
oh yeah,
You push yourself harder, you learn more, you experience more, hopefully you take a lot out of that.
mm-hmm.
You can't bypass a competition. Long track or short track, physically you push yourself harder.
Yep.
Technically you learn some strategy, whatever it is, in short track, and long track maybe you figure out what you're doing wrong, your start, your corner entry, whatever it is. But you can't pass it up. We're bringing 10 skaters out to the Great Lakes meet, the long track, short track meet. That's a great idea.
How cool is that?
We love it. We think it's good because so many of our skaters want to skate some long track. We only have short track, like we discussed.
Yep.
We have to come here to Salt Lake to do some long track or Milwaukee, and that gives us a perfect opportunity to get on the long track, get some skaters who have never seen a long track before out there, skate on a long track, skate a short track as well. And as you and I have discussed, and we both grew up doing both, that's invaluable to learn your corners for a short track. A short track skater will never struggle holding a corner on this long track ice,
as evidenced by Kip Carpenter,
Bonnie
Olympic.
Blair.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of greatness. Shawnee Davis.
Thank you.
Right.
Yes. But a lot of people don't remember. A lot of people don't know that Bonnie Blair was world short track. Well, they think back then they called it indoor, right?
Yeah.
World indoor champion, world short track champion. And here's the thing, I asked Bonnie, I said, was that 86? And I think she said it was 86 or 87. And for all the folks in TV land that want to fact check that, it was one of those years, either 86 or 87. But
Mount Prospect, Eric skated for.
Go.
Go ahead. Yeah.
But Bonnie competed at the 84 Winter Olympics in Sarajevo on the long track because short track was not yet an Olympic sport.
Yeah.
And then 2 or 3 years later, before the Calgary Games in 88, where she won her first gold medal at the Olympics, she had won World Indoor Championships.
Yep.
So
yeah, and I totally understand. You do have to specialize a little bit more these days.
Sure.
But the benefits, like we used to go when we were training in the club in Boston, we would go up to Lake Placid, skate long track all weekend, come back. Our power on our straightaways and our track was so much stronger. Your lap times were already faster. There's so much to gain from each. So it's nice to see that some people are still going back and forth and doing some of that. It'd be nice to see more.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what's going on
Looks
here.
like it's frozen there.
Frozen? Maybe frozen. So I'm not quite sure if I'll type a note to the text box to all of our friends in TV land. Maybe what I'll do is I'll try and do a little transition here. See if that's all, So, hey, folks, I'm going to send you a message. I wonder if we're frozen.
Did you turn anything off when we kind of went to a break there?
I don't think, well, we're getting stuff coming in the chat box.
Yeah, Eric, I got your messages, and I do remember your dad coaching and helping out there. Yeah, official. Yeah, I remember skating in Champaign. What a place. And, Scott Dreves, this might have been before your time, but Eric probably and a few others. Scott Dreves lives in Colorado Springs, where I am, and I see him occasionally.
Oh.
he was world champion as well back in the day. Same time I think Bonnie was. Another guy grew up from Champaign, Illinois, short track skater. Just he was a guy I kind of idolized as a kid growing up and watching him.
I just remembered another one.
Yeah.
Eric Flame.
Oh yeah, definitely.
88 Olympic medalist, long track silver.
And short again, another great short track skater, great long track skater.
So Eric, I mean, Eric played hockey growing up, right?
Yep.
From the Boston area.
Yep.
It wasn't Waltham. That's where Chris Shelley's from.
Yeah, no, I'm
right?
trying Pembroke. Or something down that way. Yeah.
Yep. And so, so folks, I don't know if we're frozen or not, but we're just gonna keep going as if we're not frozen.
I think we are, but
are we? Yeah. But let's see. I'm gonna check my messages. Tommy Fitzgerald. Okay. Sending me a text unrelated to this. Tommy, I'll get back to you on that one. We need our tech wizard.
Yeah, Matt's probably hiding somewhere.
No,
I'm not going to help those guys anymore.
Yeah, well, this is like a great way for him to, again.
Dave keeps pushing buttons, and I gotta go bail him out.
Yeah, he's like, it's time for Dave to leave the nest and kind of learn this equipment. But I know Matt and really, really, really enjoys doing this with us. And
I tell you, the last 3 days of listening to you guys, we've really enjoyed. We've gone back after the competition, listened to the audio, rewatch the races, slow mode, some of the action on our skaters. Great learning opportunity for coaches and skaters. It's so helpful.
At minimum, bare minimum, the athletes can see the race.
Yeah.
And that's like, how often
and both straightaways, both corners, where you don't get that.
No.
I mean, even as a coach yesterday, I'm standing on the backstretch, literally just watching one straightaway.
All right. Well, we're getting messages through the chat box, so I don't know what's happening from an audio standpoint or a video standpoint. Let's I think yeah, folks. Interesting. And I think tech support is on the way. Oh boy. For all we know, chat box still seems to be getting messages. I don't know if you can hear us out in TV.
You guys are still live.
You're still live.
Good.
The video's frozen. Okay, see, that's why you always, always pretend the mic is hot.
Well, we're going to have to do play-by-play then, Dave.
Oh, geez. Well, it's just like baseball, right?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Weren't you working for the Brewers for a while?
10 years.
No kidding.
10 years.
And what were you doing there?
Corporate partnerships, so selling sponsorships.
Okay.
So anytime you go to a game and you see a sign in the outfield or you get a bobblehead with a logo on it.
That was you, huh?
Yeah, I did a lot of that. And went over there when the team was for sale in 2004, and then Mr. Atanasio bought the team in December 04, January 05. I can't remember when it was finalized, and I was there. My first run, I was there through the end of the 2011 season, where we came one game short of going to the World Series.
Yeah.
And then I went to go work at Marquette University while I went to law school. So and then was recruited to go back to the Brewers in November 2017, and I was there 2018, 2019, and then 2020 we were at spring training. And the pandemic hit while we were at spring training with all of our corporate partners.
Wow.
And so we found out that spring training was canceled by seeing a ticker at the bottom of ESPN.
Wow.
Yeah. One of the partners came up and they're like, "Hey, spring training's canceled." I'm like, "What are you talking about? We're here. It's happening."
Wow.
And then they're like, "No, look." And I'm like, "What? And then there it is right there on ESPN. And that moment, that's when obviously the entire world stood still for that
You
moment.
talk about that pandemic, and it's just that's something we'll talk about for a long time.
For a long time, yeah.
Our younger generation now has something like that they live through. And
Yep. So and then and then life kind of happens, right?
Yeah, there he is. There's the man with the magic touch.
We got audio and chat box. They said video is frozen. It's not. The chat box is great because it, they're like our secondary tech support team. We got, Gordon Sepperon out there saying, "Hey man, your mic's still hot, even though the button says you're muted," right? And then now our friends are letting us know that video is frozen. But One thing I'll since Matt, you are here, we are doing some team pursuits, right?
Yep.
And these are for fun, or
For
do
the
they?
most part, yeah.
Okay, all right,
For the
all right, for
most
the
part.
most part.
There's some tired kids over there.
Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
they're ready to collapse.
But not necessarily selecting it.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Um, so Pat, you talk about development, and Gabe Gerard is our head coach
Yep,
for all around and distance, and Gabe and I were talking about how mass start, right, is a real Olympic event.
yep,
It is a real. It's just as that gold medal or that silver or whatever.
yeah,
That experience is just as important as the 1000,
yep.
as the 1500. So what can we do to help
And
folks?
actually, you
Yeah,
think in the U.S. we
we should own that.
we should have some experience there.
Yeah,
Our younger skaters, again, we talked, don't have as much
yep,
pack style experience, but in history,
yep,
our history, a lot of our guys grew up doing pack
right,
before they went to skate, what we called metric back
yep,
then.
yep.
So yeah, we should own that.
So so one of the things that, is on our mind from a development standpoint is how can we sort of kind of, you know, how can we, and maybe people do, and someone could very well say, well, mass start is top of mind for me,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But how can we ensure that continues, or how can we even elevate it even more, right? So that way, maybe if someone can look at that as something right away they're interested in, um, you know,
Well, I
I don't
think
know.
just like we talked about,
Yep.
getting clubs and groups to skate long track nationals.
Yep.
That's probably one of the best experiences you can. I mean, we have, especially being in the last year in the Midwest, Milwaukee, we have such a good depth of skaters
Yep.
there. We should have 100 or more, 200 skaters signed up for that competition.
Yep. Yep. So
Slowly getting there.
yeah, it's interesting. Chris Needham and I, and Matt, and a lot of us on the development side, we're always using this term range, right? It's a
Yeah.
book by, is it David Epstein? Yeah, David Epstein, and really talking about how, you can certainly specialize. You have your examples like Tiger Woods, right? Started golfing. Thank you very
We're
much, Matt.
back.
We're back.
We're
I
back.
think people are happy about it. They may not be, but regardless, you're kind of stuck,
Matt, you're the man.
Yeah, he's incredible. Matt has range. That's
Yes.
where I was going with that, right? Uh, you know,
A lot of
uh,
talent there.
but examples like Tiger Woods, who played golf at a very early age, almost exclusively, right? And then you have also examples like Roger Federer. So Tiger Woods among the greatest,
Yep.
right, of the game, and similarly Roger Federer among some of the greatest of the game. But Roger Federer didn't play in his first tennis match until he was how old do you think?
16,
14.
14.
And his dad was a very, very renowned, well-renowned tennis pro.
Well, he knew what he was doing then,
Yep.
probably.
But he did a bunch of other sports,
Yeah.
and so, range is something that, yes, Matt has range, right?
Yes,
Boy,
he
he
does.
knows, speed skating in and out, obviously tech support.
Yep.
He's got a multitude of different skill sets, and, range also can apply to, athletic background as well. And, US Speed Skating did a survey, right?
Yeah.
Of all of its Olympians that raced, or as many Olympians as we could get our hands on between 1980 and 2018.
Okay.
And the big question was, do you consider yourself a multi-sport athlete? And sometimes I misremember things, but I think the number was 85%
Wow.
of our Olympians considered themselves multi-sport athletes. Now, let me ask you this. They also asked us a question. At what age did you specialize in speed skating? And then what do you think the answer to that is? Of those Olympians that competed between 80 and 2018, that's a pretty
80 in 2018, I would say 16.
on the money.
Yeah.
16.
That's me. That's when I
Yeah.
decided to go all in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 2018 is still relevant.
Right.
That's very recent, right?
Yeah.
Switcher. Let's see what we can do there. We get, I think we got some zoom action going on there.
Okay.
The interesting thing was, so of that sample set, the ones that won a medal at the Olympics, the average age of specialization was 15. It's
Okay.
only 1 year younger.
Okay.
You
Yeah,
know,
that's pretty good.
so could there be something to that? Possibly. There's a lot of
Well,
research out there.
I think just, from coaching experience, I've been around this sport longer than I care to remember.
Mm-hmm.
I think as of last year is 50 years, and
Mm-hmm.
it's still counting. But and with that, I'll say,
50 years young.
the a big thing for me for coaching
Mm-hmm.
is cross training.
Yes.
We do a large amount, and we're not getting injuries. We're not getting overtraining injuries.
Yep.
We're not getting muscle overuse, joint issues. Everything we do, we do a lot of dry land. We do a lot of ice.
Mhm.
We do a lot of biking. We do a lot of weights. We do ultimate frisbee. We do a lot of different things. So I think it's, in my personal opinion, it's
Mhm.
extremely important,
Yeah.
just for overuse issues and boredom.
Right.
You
Well,
do
that's the other thing.
skate enough laps around in circles out there.
Yeah.
You lose interest. You lose that drive and desire.
Yeah. It's really, interesting. You see, in terms of like cross training, I know some use similar muscle groups. I think about like Connie Carpenter, Connie Paraskevin Carpenter. I think about Chris Whitty.
Yep.
And Mike Whitty too,
Yep.
in his own right, like an incredible cyclist, right? Chris competed in both the summer and winter games in cycling. Um, and then we can think about people like Eddie Alvarez.
Yeah. Right. There you go.
I mean, that's completely different muscle groups. Well,
Yep.
maybe not. Maybe, you use the same muscles to drive a baseball in the
but
outfield,
I think that's good for the mental part. He's playing a completely different sport. I don't know how much he played while he was skating, but
hmm
obviously wasn't rusty. So
Yep.
you get your mind. You got to get your mind off of skating laps and
Yep.
circles and constantly thinking, oh, I'm working on this. I'm working on this. I'm working on this.
Yep.
Get your mind back. Come back, and sometimes you have a new way of looking at it. Hey, I've
Yeah.
been trying this and this and this and not working.
Yep.
I've been thinking about it. I got my mind off a little. I can come back, and I'm going to try this now.
hmm
And I think there's something to be said with that.
I just thought of another athlete who was a very successful skater and baseball player, Lee Mazzilli.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Now, did you ever skate during the time that Lee
I
Mazzilli?
think my first couple nationals as a kid, he was there. I think I remember him skating with Pat Maxwell, I think,
Yeah.
and stuff. But
Yeah.
and I remember the name and him going pro and being a professional baseball player. But I think I remember seeing him like I was real little. Yeah.
We did, now it's 91 and counting. It's a big fundraiser for US Speed Skating, and we're going to be having 91 and counting out here in Park City, I believe, December 2nd. So, and if anyone's interested,
Yep.
still time to come out for that. I'll be out, and it'll be a real great event. But it used to be 88 and counting before we won three medals. And for one of the 88 and counting series, I actually had a chance to do, for lack of a better term, like a podcast or a video chat, on Zoom with Lee Mazzilli and Eddie
Oh, wow.
Alvarez.
Wow, really?
Yeah, and
I didn't get to see that.
oh, it was cool. And Mike Plant, who's
Yep,
obviously
yeah.
very high within the Braves organization, he actually packed in a bunch of his good friends within the Braves clubhouse and zoomed in. And
Wow.
I believe Brian Snicker, if I'm saying his name right, but he was manager of the Braves and he was there, and a bunch of other baseball folks. But it was super cool to see. And Mazzilli won a World Series as a player with the Mets, and then he also won a World Series as a first base coach with the Yankees.
Yep.
And it was super cool to see Mazzilli and Eddie kind of like they may have seen each other, but I think that was maybe probably the first time they connected on a
Yeah.
real meaningful level.
That's a small group right there.
Yeah. Oh,
Top level speed
Yeah.
skater,
Yeah.
top level baseball player.
now listen to this one. There is a young man competing today or this week, Zach Jensen. I don't know if you know who Zach Jensen
I
is.
don't.
He's a young skater with the Midway Club. He was a very, very, very good baseball player.
Oh, no
He's
kidding.
a senior in high school now, and he's jumped into the fray full-time speed skating, right?
Nice.
So who knows?
Yeah.
Hmm?
Looks like we're getting ready to start, Dave.
What are we doing here? Team pursuit?
Let's do some team pursuits. We have how many laps do we have on the counter? 6.
6, yes. And we have
It's like team 1.
Staley, Libby Williams.
Yep, she's back.
And this is an international group because we have from Colombia,
Go to the start.
Vargas Rodriguez.
Yep.
Team 2, Rebecca Simmons.
And we can't see the rest of the names.
No.
Ready.
All right, so what do you want to do with the switcher on this?
Oh.
Do we just leave it?
That I'm guessing that's, unless maybe one catches, then we'll jump back in and start
Yeah.
working with it. Okay. Yeah. While while they're each on the other side, that's
Yeah.
we'll keep that going.
Not quite sure what to do, so we'll just sort of wing it. It's I
Yep.
guess maybe we'll share a little love now on the camera. We got Matt Corman's 2 kids are working the cameras.
Oh,
So
nice.
just so one doesn't feel left out, maybe we'll leave it on one for a little bit for a few laps, and then we'll switch over to the other one.
Yep.
So that's the other thing, folks. Takes a village to make this happen. You got the live truck,
Yeah.
our camera operators, and
we're going.
there we go. We're off. So
we are slightly ahead we are pretty even right now, people.
okay.
And I know these girls are tired.
Yeah. Well,
it's been a long 4 days of racing.
There's a lot of different ways you can kind of define what toughness is,
There you
right?
go.
And for me, having that quiet determination, that inner drive, that inner tenacity, that's what tough is.
There you go.
And I think Libby Williams, she's resilient.
You've had a chance to work with her a little bit.
She's tough.
She'll go as long as you ask her to keep going.
Yeah.
She'll go until she passed out in bed. Yes.
Let's give the other Corman kid some love, and there you go.
There we
now
go.
We got the
Switch
back
her
stretch.
around a little bit.
Yep.
But you're right. No, and that's a type of skater. A few people have had a chance to work with her, and others like her.
Yep.
That they'll go far because they have that determination.
Yep. So all right, take a look here. So
we're slightly ahead here, I think.
Yep. Is that
Team 2? I want to call it.
Yeah.
Start on the other side with Rebecca Simmons.
Schob, Pace, and Simmons. Yep. So Ilse Schob, originally from the Twin Cities, and Rebecca Simmons from Round Lake, New York, and Ms. Pace from Brazil.
Oh, 1 to go.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think 2, but yeah.
This is kind of, you talk about development, Pat. This is like sort of a way to encourage development of team pursuit.
Yep.
Right? Similar to Mass Start, a legit.
Did you ever do one? Well, did you even practice them? Because I've never. It's before my time.
This is before my time.
I've never, or after my time. I
guess. Come to think of it, I think team pursuit was something that we did at Country Match as a neo senior.
Okay. We do them in short track practice every once in a while. We don't do the pushing as much, but it's a good workout.
Bell lap, and so.
Oh, paces are fading, but they're working.
Well, we got here.
These guys are ahead.
Okay.
I bet.
Ilse.
Rebecca Simmons' team.
Yep. Ilse, Rebecca, and Ms. Pace.
Yep.
All right, yeah. So that would be team 2, I believe.
These guys coming into the finish here on the screen. And not too far off, these guys.
Yep. Nastalia.
Very good. Not a bad pairing.
Libby Williams and our friend from Colombia, Vargas Rodriguez. So the United States really, really jumped on an opportunity to do some innovative stuff with the team pursuit that, ultimately eventually led to a world record,
right.
For our men and having an opportunity to pursue an Olympic medal, very close between the Russians and U.S. and just edged out, but we still managed to go head-to-head against the Dutch and get a bronze. And
that's impressive.
Our women have won a team pursuit medal at the Olympic Games as well.
Right. No, that's, again, another nice tradition I think we can start, hopefully starting in the U.S.
Let's throw a switcher. There you go, live truck. Nice. So we got any more? We got another team coming out? One more, maybe?
I don't see a team on the other side, so it looks like just
singles
on this side.
All right, let's see if I can find any information here.
I see.
Did we officially announce the mass
start
results?
Actually, good question. I don't think I've seen it. Let me take a look here.
While you're doing that, I'm going to take a look at the start list for the team pursuit. See how many more we have left. Okay, yeah, to your point, this is going to be a single.
Yeah, I've only have results from the first race, not cumulative results from the two.
Okay. So we're gonna have to rely on our video board here to see who our participants are.
I know Tristan from Colorado, and then
Okay.
we have Columbia, and then another U.S. skater out there. I believe Milwaukee, but I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
Well, we have on the screen now. So we have Rodriguez, Estevez, and Boyd.
Yep. So the interesting thing is, yeah, some of the friends back home in TV land may have noticed that the athletes were literally pushing each other. You know, an innovation that the U.S. heavily researched leading up to, the last couple seasons, and has now been adopted as a standard worldwide.
Yeah.
So who do we have here? We have Team 3 of Rodriguez, Estevez, and Boyd.
And that's a good, I did try this once with my skaters. It's hard. It's
Mhm.
hard to figure out that distance.
Yeah.
And to be able to push and not get kicked from behind.
Yeah.
I'd only done it once, but it took 2 or 3 laps for me to figure it out and to know how to do it.
So it's interesting because, coming up in January this year at Lake Placid, we're going to have the 2023 FISU Games.
Yep.
So basically, the best way I can describe it is the Olympics for people in college or university, right? And the way I understand it is that the FISU Games are the second largest outdoor winter Olympic sporting event, or winter sporting event, only second to the Olympic Games.
No kidding.
So
I had no idea.
Yeah, thousands and thousands of athletes. I think, maybe 60 countries and 13 events. So Little Lake Placid is going to be kind of busy in January.
I know. I was talking to some friends with the USOC, and I know they're putting on a big show with that and getting it ready.
Switcher.
And
boom.
Guess I'm slacking on my job there.
Well, now since we have one, we can kind of go back and
there
forth.
There we go.
Right?
But yeah, no, it's going to be a big deal.
Yeah, and so again, another example of some of those development events to help our athletes kind of get to the next level.
Yeah.
Get some great international experience, but the competition field at the FISU Games is going to be world championship caliber.
Yeah.
It fits very well with the ISU calendar. Kind of slides right in.
I know we had trials for short track, so we've selected a short track team, and I think this competition is one of 2 trials for the long track.
Yep. Yeah. Well, so if you've earned a spot on the World Cup team and you are academically and age eligible for the FISU Games, you'll have earned a spot provided, well, you will meet the time standard, at minimum if you made the World Cup team.
Right.
Sort of a given. But then the remaining spots that are not quite yet taken will be determined at AmCup number 2 in Roseville in December. So, there's a number of things that we really can't even almost like announce a tentative because there's a few layers of approvals that have to happen from academic eligibility. All the student athletes need to have that verified. So while we know who could potentially be, we're just going to hold off in terms of making any officials.
Great. So it looks like we have 1.5 laps to go here. We've we've changed leads different than the strategy you were talking about. Each person here is taking a different lead.
Yep.
And we're now down to our third person who will have 1 lap to go when they hit the line.
Yep. And so I think that might be another innovation that the U.S. kind of like developed in addition to the push was keeping the same person in front.
And you got to wonder for different skaters, different teams, there could be different strategies to make that work.
Oh, there definitely are. And here's a good for example. A few weeks ago in Milwaukee, we had some races, and let's see, Carl Titelli, Jordan Stoltz, and John Tobon did a team pursuit.
Okay.
And so trying to determine what the best order for those athletes were was different than perhaps the order of athletes for another one. So in that case, Jordan was in first.
Yeah.
Tobon was in second, and then Titelli was in third. And some people would say, well, we should probably have a, how did you determine that? And that determination, I consulted with Gabe Gerard, our head coach for distance and all around, and he's the one that recommended it and kind of gave a little insight in terms of why that strategy, and it worked really well. So
Okay.
well that the athletes got a funding time, achieved the funding time,
Okay.
and just finished just shy of a national record for the juniors.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
on a regular weekend,
Yeah, and I think
regular
you
ice.
get the three skaters, maybe the three coaches together. You get some experts, or
Yeah,
like you said, USB Skating has been working on this
yeah,
event for a while now. They know what they're talking about,
yeah,
and figure out who's going to go where,
yeah,
and you try it out a few different options.
yeah. So I hate to say it, but I think things are kind of coming to a close. I
I
think
think
we
we
just
got one
do
more
we?
group coming out there. Looks like
Oh,
we don't have any of the national team guys out there though.
yeah. Could be a single.
Yeah.
But Team Pursuit is an event at the FISU Games,
Oh, okay.
and
Great.
so is the mass start.
Ah, good, good.
There's no 10K,
All right.
but guess what else is there? A mixed relay on the long track.
Wow. No kidding.
No kidding.
So would you come out of the corner, get pushed?
Right in the middle of the straightaway.
Okay.
So between the 1,000-meter finish line,
Yep.
and the standard finish line, the 500-meter finish line,
Yep.
I believe that's it. It made the general idea, but similar to relay and short track, you have to exchange in that zone,
Okay.
and that is really hard to figure out.
I would think you got to
Yeah.
get the timing down.
And so what we discovered is sort of try this. It's relatively new. We were literally, because this was an event at the FISU Championships in Lake Placid. We were literally given a video. Say this is what it looks like.
I like it. I love this. I mean, it's great. It's good, better TV stuff.
Yeah.
All right. So our fourth group here.
All right. Okay. So we got our Dutch buddy.
Go to the start.
Hart Gorman
Okay.
and Meacham.
Is it okay? Okay, Mooin. Sammy Hart Gorman and Aiden Meacham.
Yep.
So running as a single just to get that good experience. Team Pursuit is also an event at Junior Worlds, right?
Okay,
So
right.
a lot of these athletes, great training for Aiden. He will
Yeah.
be trying out for the Junior World team in January,
Right.
right? And so, whoa, you getting that
Yep.
feedback? What is that?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, your cell phone on the computer.
Huh? Was that it?
That was the buzz.
Okay.
So anyway, so great opportunity for these athletes to practice together,
Yep.
right? Because when they get to Junior Worlds or they get to the FISU Games, they're going to be skating together, but they may not necessarily be, located geographically in the same place.
Right.
We have athletes that train and live in the Roseville area for the long track. We have athletes that, train in the Salt Lake City area. We have athletes that train in the Milwaukee area. I know Jersey Hitler, who is no longer a junior, but he's attending the University of Calgary.
Okay.
I see on speedskatingresults.com that Jersey is still racing, which is
Good.
great. So hopefully, Jersey, we miss you, buddy, and you come back to Milwaukee in January to try out as a neo.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll see you in Roseville. So I know it's tough though when you're in college and skating at the same time.
It's got to be.
Ugh,
And at least I mean, he's not doing it, but a lot of them have the internet learning now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, online remote.
Learning, which
Yeah.
we didn't have back then. It was either go to school or travel with the team.
Right. That kind of slowed things down for me a little bit.
Yeah.
I tried to do both, and I did do both for 2 years, but we just didn't have those options available.
Yeah.
I'm not going to date.
But it really is a great opportunity for some of our athletes
Mhm.
who want to continue their education and keep skating.
Yep. Yeah. So here we are. How many laps to go?
4 to go.
4 to go. All right. So this is an opportunity, when we do the team pursuits here at the AmCup, a chance for the skaters who, will definitely compete together internationally or another time, but they don't spend time. They can't really practice this together if they're not training with the same team in the same group.
Yep.
So let's get them together.
Right.
And also maybe give them some of this may be their very first time even doing this.
Right. Like I said, I think Aiden's done it two times,
Yeah.
but you're not an expert yet.
No. No, one of the things that we've done in Milwaukee a few times, we've done some collaborative training where we literally, picked a few days during the month, and we would do like mock team pursuit, mock mass starts,
Right.
and the kids love it.
Yeah.
It's a chance to do something that's a
And
little different,
different,
keeping them fresh, just like
different skating with different people.
Yeah. Yep. These kids look good.
They're doing all right. Two
They-
to go when they hit the line.
One of the things, like, look at how synchronized they are.
Yeah. That takes some practice there.
But they're doing it.
Yeah.
Like, how many times have these athletes skated together? Well, I could tell you that
Never.
Aiden probably has never skated with
Either.
Okay.
Right.
I think that's Okay Moon. I think that's his first time. We have two athletes here from the Netherlands training and competing.
Yeah.
And again, this is training. This is for fun. Great practice, and they look good.
Yeah. Nice and smooth.
Patrick.
Be one to go when they hit the line.
Now, you said that you guys do some of this on short track.
Yeah, not without the push, but we
Yeah.
will set up teams on each side.
Yep.
Kind of even teams, and then have them do 1,000 meters or whatever. And we'll switch it up every once in a while and time trial it.
Oh, yeah, Matt, I'm just seeing that now. Shoot, Matt sent me a message a while ago asking if I could, showing mass start leftovers. You guys keep leaving for camera view. All right, yeah. All right,
Here we come into the finish. We're on the final turn. Good work for these three guys.
Nice.
You are done for the day.
Yep. There you go. All right. Well, done for the weekend. Should we, there you go, Matt. Yeah, we had some stuff left over here. Let's transition out. And I'm trying my hand here at the old, helm. So again, Matt Corman, great for developing me. He's really like, forcing me to kind of
got the
leave
right
the
guy
nest.
in a role.
Right. So should we go ahead and announce our official results for mass start?
Do we have it?
I think they released it. Yeah.
It would be nice to see.
Revise. Well, maybe we don't have it
I don't
official.
see it yet.
Okay, so we'll hold off on that. I guess maybe keep an eye out, right?
Yep.
But in the meantime, this was fun.
Yeah, Dave, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Absolute pleasure. And I know you and I could chat for hours
We
about this
have.
crazy sport.
We have, and to all the folks in TV land, thanks for your patience. This was a blast for us. Even me. Look, I'm back on. Jeez Louise, like so. But this was great. First time we've ever done this. Big shout out to Matt Corman for having the vision and being able to take that leap. And a big thank you to Ted Morris and Shane Domer, at US Speed Skating for letting us experiment.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So with that, I guess we'll sign off, right?
Yeah. Good job, Dave. Thank you very much.
Fake it till you make it.
Okay.
Okay. All right, everybody. I'll wait for Matt to come up here before I officially get us out.
Thanks to all you guys chiming in on the chat line.
Yep. I guess signing off from the AmCup #1.
There we go. Looking forward to number 2.
Oh man, Patrick.
Roseville, Minnesota.
All right, we'll see everybody.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Bye.